Yeah, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
All right, gentlemen, I hereby call to order this secret trading group live chat. Can I get your credentials and the secret password, please?
Yes, Tony. It's right here.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
It's right there, Tony. For
Sadly,
anybody
I
who
haven't
wants to know.
updated the poster board from my last live stream, but I think it'll work.
How y'all doing tonight? Happy Friday. We made it to another
Pretty good.
week.
Pretty good.
Did you lose any money this week, guys?
No, I actually made some money this week. It was pretty nice.
All I heard mediocre was people fucking killed it this week. I got some GameStop puts, which I've been chasing IV down. Maybe we can talk about that later. But
Yeah, you compare that with my favorite new trolling technique.
What's your new trolling technique?
GameStop short position.
Oh, well, that probably didn't work out very good today.
That's why I closed it this morning before it went all wild and insane.
Okay.
I saw it in AMC going up. I was like, I think I will cash in on that profit.
It's been a fucking crazy week for AMC, man.
Well, that's the thing with AMC is like it's been up and down. It's like if you're long AMC, you can make money. If you're short AMC, you can make money. You just gotta be in and out at the right points during this.
What I basically said to our Discord, especially with GameStop today, is nobody freaking knows what is going to happen, especially now that they got the ATM done. But there's going to be plenty, I think, of opportunity for volatility traders. But you're going to have to be smart, and you're going to have to watch it, and you're not going to have to get overconfident. You know who's going to get fucked in the next week or two? People who think they have it figured out.
Tony, you know what I know? I didn't trade 0 AMC this week.
I didn't either, as a matter of fact.
I did not.
Did you see the options chain on the weeklies for AMC this week? It was freaking insane.
Yeah,
there's like over 100,000 contracts outstanding, and they all finished out of the money.
I helped my father. I rolled some contracts for him, last week, and I'm like, I looked at them again this week. They're still, I said, fuck it, cut them. Who gives a shit? You missed out on fucking $3,300. Who cares? Fuck it. Right? We just take the fucking money and we'll put it somewhere else, and we're gonna make $3,300.
I just have one. I told you so from the last time I was on this live stream. I gave a soft shout out to Kirk. Go take a look at what it did in after hours when the news dropped.
You gave a shout out to who?
Kirk. Kirk. Kirkland's.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that one. What happened?
It was in passing.
But I told Tony the other day, I said, listen, I said, fuck it, I'm going in deep in CSX. I said, Tony said, I'm gonna wait till $30. I said, nah, fuck that. I'm going in right now. And
it ran up right after you bought it, didn't it?
Right after.
What did it? I didn't watch it after that. What did it close at?
It went to 34.12. It closed at 33.79. So
I'm still waiting for 30. I'm going to be that asshole.
I don't give a shit. It's a good trade.
If you had a great week. I mean, you jumped on it and you made money, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I said, fuck it. I'm doing it.
Anya says she has CSX at $10. Anya, beautiful. Anya said she made money this week. Gorilla Gardener said he sold some of his GameStop shares into the run up.
That's the way to do it.
I love to hear you guys actually separating from the buy and hold mentality and putting money in your actual pocket. Like, it's great to support a stock. It's great to love a stock. We don't want to get so married to it that we're afraid to divorce it for a week. Like, if you can bank a little bit of money and then come back in a week or two, that is how you fucking play these plays. The stock's always going to be there. And when something runs from $10 to $80, that was a out of control run up, and that it's going to come back down. So take the fucking gains. And if you love the company, get back in. But I mean, I was talking, this is a great topic. I was talking with a friend of mine today. He's a
don't
CEO.
want the neighbors taking a sneak peek there, Meteoric?
Huh?
Mediocre. He's pulling the blinds. He not want his neighbors peeking in on him.
He's the CEO of a telehealth company. I was talking to him about trading psychology and how all of these people in GameStop refused to sell. And he gave me the name of a guy. He said, Tony, this whole Wall Street thing, he's not even really a trader. I mean, he's got a portfolio manager, right? He's got way more money than I do. He's just like, put my money, you manage it, to his portfolio manager. But he said, Tony, the whole stock market is built on manipulating people's psychology these days. And I was like, yes. How do you fucking know that? And he told me the name of a guy. Have y'all heard of him before? His name is, I think, J.D. Maroney.
Can't say I've heard of it.
Or J.D. Maroney. He said he's from Texas, and he started this whole thing of figuring out what triggers. He started this whole thing of funnels, like customer funnels, the whole sales funnel thing, how you create websites or advertisements that key in on people's greedy emotions or their whatever emotions and get them to click and buy and become part of your funnel. And he said Wall Street has become like that. Now, this guy was not involved in Wall Street. He was pre-Wall Street. Maroney or Macroney, someone look him up. But anyways, I was just having this long conversation with him about how many people will ignore a 700% run up in a stock because they want a 2,000% run up a month later. Like, what is wrong with some of these people out there? I don't get it. And they will fight you. They will fight me, Corex. They will fight me if I tell them take some gains. There's nothing wrong with taking some gains. Oh, you just want us to sell so we can't make more money. It went to 80. You're at 20 right now.
Yeah, that was the time.
What do you think now in retrospect was the smart play? I am fucking literally trying to help you unplug from these dipshits with the buy and hold mentality.
Unplug the Matrix.
Unfucking plug, people. Jesus Christ.
Need to get you.
There's a lot of stocks I love, but I will step out of them for a week or two if I need to. What is wrong with people?
Yeah, there's no point. I mean, I move my running around if I can. If there's a better deal somewhere, I'm going. Yeah, I am up late tonight. Tony wanted to do a live. I said, all right, let's do it.
My wife is wife's still at work for another hour, so we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out, and
that's fine. I'm down. I'm down to clown.
I had already poured my first bourbon, and I'm wide awake, so why not?
I'm getting ready to have a beer myself, Tony.
I'm looking for my cigar clipper here. Oh, here it is.
There goes my pen.
All right, so the thumbnail for tonight is kind of funny. Corex and Mediocre. I don't know if y'all saw it, but the secret trading group. I'm going to run a poll here in the chat about secret trading groups because I'm curious if any of y'all have secret trading groups, and start a poll. Here's the poll. Do you have any friends? Yes or no? I want to know, do you have friends? Because if you don't have friends, you might not know what a group is. And there's Hey, Corax, do you think there's a
Mhm.
couple Popcorn Project people that don't have any friends and might not understand what a group is?
I think they have friends, but I don't think they understand the concept of
Yep.
people who just get together and have fun.
You know what they could do? They could fuck their feelings.
They're
Cheers.
they're too serious. They need a new wish in their life. They need to laugh a little bit, learn to laugh, have a good joke.
Go watch a movie like Sight, the newest from Angel Studios. Learn how to get God in your life. Learn how to have some joy in your life. Learn how to wake up every day happy and stop thinking that the world is against you. And maybe you'll start and probably unplug from your conspiracy, friends. Join our Discord, join our live streams. Come have a chat because nothing in our group, which is just us, is the people.
Exactly.
There is nothing in our group that we don't talk about here on live streams. There's no secret discussions.
I mean, speaking of that, I now have a higher standard quality of the Bed Bath and Beyond folks than I do the Project Popcorn people, because at least Michael had the brass cojones to show up on my live stream.
I saw that. I was very proud of him.
Tony, why don't you bring in some of the people in the Discord, see if they got something to say.
All right. Let's bring in some of the secret group.
The secret group. Let's see who wants to talk here. If anybody.
Do they know the handshake? That's my question.
Let's see if I can do this. Share screen. Yeah, we don't have any secret group, guys. We have friends that we talk about. Like I was telling, I think Corax earlier, our group has people with different skill sets. Like I'm known as the guy that likes to read filings and do a quick financial analysis in 60 seconds or less. Mediocre loves to do TA. We have other guys that specialize in options trading. Combined, we are this super force. We're just
the stock market
trading.
Justice League.
Yeah, we're the stock market Justice League. But we're just normal people like you guys. There's no secret fucking group.
The fucking secret. You want to know what the secret is? I go, Tony, you want to look up financials on this real quick so we can figure out what the fuck we're doing anything with?
The secret group is we make money.
All right. I don't want that way up there. I want us to be.
There we go.
That's good enough. All right. Let's see if they can talk, and I probably need to unmute.
I mean, his man's breaks weren't good.
All right. Can Gus or Shiro, can one of y'all say something and see if they can hear you?
Squeeze's car was fine. It was just.
Yeah, I can hear him. I don't know.
You can hear them? Can you hear them out there in YouTube land?
No, it happens. And then he went to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just chatting. Hang on.
No, they say no in YouTube land. Like I can hear them.
Yeah, and he.
Hey, gentlemen in the Discord, do you guys want to be live on YouTube?
Yo.
Hello.
Yeah, they're just rambling on about stuff.
All right. Well, I'm gonna disengage with them if they don't want to come on and talk.
They don't know they're live.
All right. Well, we'll come back to them later.
We'll come back to our live in the field correspondence later.
Not ready for
on
prime
the
time.
street reporter.
Devil May Rage. He's got a saucy comment here for us. Yes, you should wear your balaclava, Brendan. Absolutely. Devil May Rage says, I'm an X8 holding a 90% loss on AMC when I was up six figures. All I can say, my friend, is I feel your pain. I understand. And all of us, Mediocre, myself, everybody in the Discord could tell you, I don't know. I lost count of how many names of people who took charge of their portfolio, even though they were down significantly. Grandpa Barney, for example, was down, if I'm not mistaken, mediocre, was it 6 figures?
Oh yeah, he's down, but he's going to get his money back, right?
But
It's
but
not even an
the
issue.
many or some or all of these people have substantially regained all of their losses. Some of them have even gotten in the green by forgetting this buy and hold mentality and listening to people that have a little bit more experience about how to take active charge of your trading.
And I
And
just
it's
want to tell
totally
you, I agree
fine.
with you. I also am an ex-ape. You know what I mean? I'm a trader first. I was trading for long before AMC crap or GME, whatever. But, you know, I held the same as everybody else. I did. But I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, I have stuff, you know, I have kids with medical issues, stuff like that. Like, I got my own issues that I need to take care of. I'm not going to put my livelihood on the line, my life savings on the line for a movie theater company or a GameStop company that's a brick and mortar business, which I don't agree with brick and mortar businesses. Even though they just got all that money, I still don't believe in them. Sorry, guys.
And
Hate me
it's
if you
okay to
must.
make a mistake and stuff like that, as long as you learn from it at the very least.
That is the whole thing. Like Corex, many of us made a choice back in 2021 to support AMC, and some people made money in June, and some like me kept buying after June. I mean, I made a lot of money in June on AMC, so I'll never be red in the play. But I erroneously took some good money and threw it after the play.
Or the bad money.
Yeah, and it became bad money because it only went down after that. But I learned from my mistake, about the time that the economy started changing, that this might not work out the way that I want, and I better start paying attention to the financials of this company, because it might not just be another second short squeeze. So that is the whole thing of like learning to recognize your mistakes, pivot, and adapt.
Yeah, you got to be willing to take control of your portfolio, and I'm not a buy and hold guy of any stock. So let's get that clear. I don't care if it's Nvidia, I don't care if it's Microsoft, I don't care if it's Facebook. I don't hold nothing. Tony knows this. I just trade different, right?
And-
I buy stuff when it's moving, and I sell it when the move stops. That's it.
I tend to, before not counting AMC, I just said AMC is going to be my social experiment. I'm going to try this buy and hold a non-profitable company for as long as I can stand it. And I did until, what was the day that we finally switched mediocre? I mean, I was...
I could tell you what did it for me as far as AMC.
When was that? It was like a month or two before the ruling of the judge.
Yeah, it was when there was the plaintiff's brief was released and the defendant's brief. And when we read that brief, it was like a week or two after that came out, when we finally got to get through the thing, and you could clearly see what was going to happen.
Yeah, and we had been talking about it though for a long time, right? That there was the arbitrage opportunity.
Oh,
Correct.
absolutely.
That's about when you showed up.
Yep.
Correct? I mean, anybody with common sense could see what was going to happen. Like the reverse split was going to go through, the conversion was going to be approved by the judge, the arbitrage was going to happen, AMC was going to fall, APE was going to go up. I said, I don't know how many times it's not going to be a short squeeze event. You should seriously consider what is going to happen. And people, for whatever reason, they still are accusing me today of, you were pushing AMC all the way to the end. I very clearly was not. If I was pushing AMC to the end, all the pumpers wouldn't have me blocked.
Yeah, we got blocked, Tony.
I mean, we're a year past that, and people still lying about how that all went down. All the videos are still up. You can go. What we did get wrong, mediocre, and we've talked about this before, was when Ape came out, we misjudged retail's willingness to hold it. We misjudged
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin and Matt and Wrench and everybody just coming out and trashing it. And in retrospect, that was a mistake. But you know what? I learned from my mistakes and I look for ways to fix them. I don't have a pity party and blame everybody else.
Yeah.
And we had multiple opportunities to fix the position when Ape dropped down to 60, 65 cents. I mean, anybody could have fixed their position, but you had to be willing to pivot. And unfortunately, people just weren't willing to change. They weren't willing to listen. They weren't willing to sell their AMC and trade it for Ape. And I can't feel bad at this point for people that aren't willing to be open-minded about how to protect your portfolio.
I'll just tell you straight out. I'll sell you whatever call options you want to buy.
There was a lot of that. I mean, a lot of opportunity for that. Like they were trying to ram through another gamma squeeze, and it like, don't get me wrong, AMC had a pretty good rally today, but it just did not get back to $5. It tried, but it couldn't hold above it.
I honestly thought AMC would end this week around 350. So the fact that it's over 5 or anywhere in that range is astonishing to me. Like, why are we this high?
It's just easier than GameStop to hold up based on a price basis. I think that's part of it.
People still excited about GameStop and AMC's cheaper, that whole FOMO afterglow effect.
Yep. We'll see if that holds up next week. I have a feeling that come FOMC middle of this upcoming month, it'll die in a ditch if it still exists.
We talking about AMC?
Or any of it. Because the Fed's going to come out and say, yeah, we're still not cutting rates. And you'll see the market just go.
Jason says, has Ape been converted yet? Absolutely. Now, I know there's one very big, loud voice on Twitter, and I love him to death, that is convinced Ape never converted. But I respectfully disagree.
Absolutely.
My portfolio would not be what it is if it didn't.
I can tell you.
How did you know where I was going? Believe me, it definitely converted.
Yep.
I can assure you of that.
That couple $1,000s in my portfolio would not exist if that was the case.
They might take that back from you, Clorox.
Clorox, why do people accuse you of being an Adam Aaron lover?
I don't know. That's a great question. Next question. I still haven't figured it out. Like, I don't get it because, like, I have been pretty much of the, like, I've been just kind of pragmatic about it. I don't like how he's managed the company, but he's done what he's needed to keep it out of bankruptcy. Whether you think it should go to bankruptcy and just clear out the debts and start over or whatever is totally an opinion I could see both sides to, but I've never been like an Adam Aaron sycophant. I don't know where that fucking comes from.
I don't remember. Were you short AMC and long Ape? Was that your?
I had puts on AMC because I looked at the cost to borrow on shorting AMC. I was like, I ain't about that life.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I never took you as a fan of the company or Adam Aaron either. You were just an opportunist, right?
Yeah.
And you could see the financials, you could read the legal pleadings, and you knew how it was going to turn out. So you made a gamble on the play. Some of us, like myself, mediocre probably isn't even the same category as me. I would actually like to see AMC, come out of this without going bankrupt. Am I in love with Adam Aaron or the executives? No, but I understand their job. They have a horrible job in front of them to
it brings me to
save this company from Chapter 11.
See, that's the other thing that I find confusing. Like, yeah, the dilution sucks. I'm not the world's biggest fan about it or all the moves that have been made. But I still can't get over this idea that people think that Adam Aaron is intentionally bankrupting the company. If that was the case, there would be no ape. There would be no shelf offering. He just let it go to bankruptcy
They could have
based on the debt.
done nothing anytime at any point in the last 3 years, and
Yeah,
it would have
why
been an
dilute?
easy bankruptcy.
Yeah, why dilute? Exactly.
Let's see what else. What else did I hear this week? Corex, you love Adam Aaron. You're an Adam Aaron sycophant.
I mean, who doesn't love Adam Aaron, Tony? I mean, really?
I get accused of it all the time too. One day I'm
What's not to
shilling-
love?
One day I'm shilling for Adam Aaron. The next day I'm apparently paid by a hedge fund. So I wish these two groups would like go in a room and fight it out, and we could see which one is correct. I just read the financials. I just read the financials and the filings, and I try to explain to you guys why they're doing what they're doing. I don't care about any executive. I don't care about Ryan Cohen.
Hold on, Tony.
I don't care about Adam Aaron. I don't care about Elon Musk. They can all go suck a dick as far as I'm
calling
concerned.
bullshit here, Tony. I want to know, Tony. Tony, I want to know
What,
how.
did you meet him in person?
How the hell did you get in contact with Ryan Cohen to get the information before it was released?
How did I
4
find
hours,
out?
Tony.
How did I find out that he was going to finish the dilution today and so conveniently put out that video this morning?
Yeah, how did you know, Tony?
Must be inside knowledge, mediocre. I got so fucking sick of all these loudmouth social media people on Twitter and especially YouTube saying, oh, they're certainly not diluting. And Corex, you've been around. You've been in all the fucking retail, shitco penny stock groups.
A lot of them.
Every time they drop a prospectus, what do they say? They're not diluting.
Of course.
Every single fucking play.
And then every time it pumps, what do?
They dilute.
Hi, we have an ATM offering.
Yeah. I mean, guys, this is not rocket science. Just get out of your glass house of emotion and stop thinking these CEOs care about you. Of course, they're going to dilute. That's their job.
To get a functioning company. And if the company isn't making money based on its business, where's that money coming from? It's going to come from you.
Yep. So I had to put out that video this morning, not because I'm trying to, look, I'm going to be right, or I want to embarrass somebody, but I care about the people that watch my channel, and I'm getting asked a lot, do you think they're diluting? And even worse, these people yelling at the camera. They're not diluting. Why would they do that? They've got $1 billion in the bank because they have basically a failing business, GameStop.
Tony, I think Ryan
They're
Cohen
projected to make 1 penny profit per share this entire year. This isn't, I don't care how much you love GameStop. That is not a successful business. It's
Show me
very,
your phone, Tony. I want to see the call logs. I want to make sure Ryan Cohen
it's
didn't
very
call you.
smart for them to dilute and raise more cash. That was a brilliant move. Gives them so much more opportunities.
Tony, how often do we talk about it? I still think AMC is going to dilute again.
They probably will.
That's why I'm not in it.
My big question with GameStop is that, okay, they did this dilution. Are they going to do something with it? Because I still walked into the GameStop here in my local town, and I still see 50% of that store with physical spinning disc media that needs to get cleared out and replaced with stuff that actually sells. That's my big problem with GameStop. The supposed turnaround I have yet to see.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with GameStop. It's no secret I'm not a fan of brick and mortar stores in general that sell inventory, but GameStop can be a fantastic trade. I've been making a lot of money on it for the last 18 months. But as far as like me saying, okay, guys, I'm in, the bottom's in, I'm going to load up here. We just haven't reached that point yet for me.
Yeah.
So it's just buy a dip, sell a rip, buy a dip, sell a rip. Do I catch them all? I don't catch them all. Do I catch the bottom, the perfect bottom and the
Nobody
perfect
does.
top on all of them? No, of course not. You hear these dipshits on YouTube saying Tony says he times everything perfectly. I've never said that. I've said many times, I usually don't catch things perfectly, but I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to make money. It's about having reasonable entries and reasonable exits. That's it. And you do that enough times in a week, you're going to make money. Your portfolio is going to grow.
Tony Gus says if Adam don't dilute, if AMC doesn't dilute, he's going to be pissed. And I think I know why. I could tell you why he thinks that way.
Because he wants to get a lower entry?
Nope. He doesn't give a shit about that.
Because he sold covered calls.
He doesn't care about that either.
Why? What's his reason?
His reason is he needs AMC to have the money on the balance sheet so that they can survive and get this debt restructured. That's why. He knows that has to be done, Tony. That's why.
I mean, they have a shot. I mean, depending on how Q2 turns out, depending on how Q3 and Q4 turn out, they could make it through this year with minimal cash burn. And 850, 900 million, whatever they have, that could be enough to see them into next year. But we don't really, I mean, we're expecting better things in 2025, but it's just way too early to say with absolute certainty there's not going to be any more dilution. I would say, I mean, the reasonable part of me would not be surprised if there's more AMC dilution. That's why I'm going to be paying very close attention to the box office every quarter and the cash on the balance sheet and the cash burn. And again, if it's your first time here in June, now I got out of AMC in March, one day before the dilution. They diluted March 28th. I sold my position on the 27th because as I had been telling these guys, all of these guys in the secret group for a week, that I thought that they were going to dilute because the cash burn was too high. And they're like, you're crazy.
I said, nah, he's not going to do it now.
But I might be crazy, but I also don't like losing money. So I sold my AMC on March 27th, and the next day they announced dilution. And then after it dropped, I bought back in, which is how I like to do it. Just protect my portfolio, preserve my capital. I'll be doing the same thing in June. I feel bad that I didn't talk about it on YouTube, but you can blame all the mouth breathing conspiracy dipshits for why I don't do so much sharing of info. Because, every time I share something, somebody wants to yell at me, call me names, dox me, all this bullshit. So fuck them all. You can blame them for you guys not getting information. If you want information, be in the Discord. It's free for anybody that's a member of the channel. But I will try and do better in June if I think that there's a cash burn risk so bad that I think they're going to dilute. I give you my word, I will make at least one video in June if I have that concern. And if I don't, then I won't.
This is why I don't worry about the price running up on AMC, because I know ultimately that has to happen at some point. I just, I'm good. I'm not going to give my money away. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to let them push the stock price back down with me in it or any of that bullshit. It's just not going to happen.
But if we can get through Q2 without another dilution, we're generally pretty bullish about Q3, right? Mediocre.
Oh, absolutely. I'm bullish on the stock overall. I think we're going to recover from bankruptcy. I don't think that there's any doubt there. Like we're not going to bankruptcy, right? And the reason we're not going to bankruptcy is why? What's he got left for shares?
He's still got 190 million shares.
190 million shares he can make money with to put on the balance sheet, people. That's the way I look at it.
And what's he have after that, mediocre?
He will ask shareholders for more if we get
he could ask for more shares, or he could reverse split again. And God forbid we have to cross that bridge. I'm just saying there's a lot of opportunities available to companies to avoid bankruptcy if they're really trying to avoid it. I mean, absolutely. Corex, how many times is Mullen reverse split?
Fuck. 3 last year. How many more we got coming?
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about that, let's
might be getting BK here pretty soon with them. That lawsuit, that arbitration, there's a bit of a scuffle fight going on with that, and over in the Southern District of New York,
you guys.
Huh?
So let's talk about reverse split real quick. so that people can understand, like the stock price doesn't have to go to $1 for them to reverse split. They can reverse split whenever.
They could reverse
that is a
split
thing.
whenever, and the only reason they would do it
So-
is if they run out of authorized shares.
Are we frozen?
No,
No,
I don't think so. If they run out of authorized shares, they could reverse split like a 10 for 1 for 10. 1 for 10, right? Yeah, 1 for 10. And that basically would free up another 450 million shares again. You'd lose 90% of your shares. Can you hear me, Mediocre?
So I can
No,
hear
I'm
you.
lagging. Hang on a second.
Maybe Mediocre. All right.
Yeah, I'm
But
back.
yeah, hopefully we don't get to that point. The only way we know, guys, if we get to that point is you need to
I
watch
agree.
the cash burn. You need to watch the cash burn, and you need to watch the cash balance on the balance sheet. If they start dropping below 400 million, 450, 500 million, then I think they start getting nervous. We're not in that territory right now. So we got to see what the cash burn for Q2 is. Go see a fucking movie, buy some popcorn. I'm not calling for a reverse split, and I'm certainly not calling for a bankruptcy. And I know there's a lot of people that want to push that narrative, a lot of people that hate AMC because it's the distraction from GameStop. Bunch of fucking mouth breathers saying it's the distraction play. Guys, there's thousands. I don't know if they know there's about 8,000 tickers out there. There's not one play that's a distraction for any other play
How about
unless
this?
you're a dipshit.
How about this? GameStop getting sucked into this buy and hold in GameStop as a distraction from you making money.
Yeah. They want you to put all your money in GameStop so you can
To
save
pump their bags.
Exactly. And they'll never admit it. They'll never admit it, but they need you. They need you in GameStop because they're down. They're down
lot.
big time.
That's my new favorite joke. I've made more in GameStop than probably 90% of these clowns because I take profits.
Booyah. And I say booyah with all the love to my GameStop investors and traders. Because I don't want to, I don't want to see anyone lose money.
Yeah.
But we've talked here for 18 months about how to make money on GameStop. And we've made a lot. But it's because I don't listen to dipshits on YouTube.
Well, not just that. Like on my live streams, I have Platinum Sparkles. She's a GameStop along. And last time in the green room before the show, we were talking about all the ways that GameStop needs to improve. And I guarantee you, we agreed on each and every one of them. We're of the same mind that the real way that GameStop changes is they expand their digital platform and they turn around their stores, modernize them, get rid of this physical media crap, and put stuff in the stores that'll actually sell.
They've got a great opportunity now with this cash raise being done. So it literally was one of the best things that they could have done. And that is why I expected them to do it. I mean, we've been talking about it for a week. Mediocre, or am I right? We've been talking about it for a week. We're
talking about any company that gets a run up like that, and it's trading above what the company's worth. Like, I know people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. If a company's trading above what it's worth, what do you expect the CEO and the CFO to do? They're going to take advantage of that.
The best question they have, and I agree, this is a good question. Why would they dilute now when they didn't dilute over the last year? And why would they dilute now when they have $1 billion? I mean, clearly they don't need it, right?
Because they're coming
I already have my answer, but I want to hear Mediocre from you and then Corax from you.
Well, they got a double miss coming up on earnings in the next week or two.
Boom. Exactly.
I'd say that plus, like I said, the transition that I just talked about that me and Platinum Sparkles thinks that they need to do. Money doesn't grow on trees. They need money to do that.
Yeah.
Got to pad that balance sheet.
I think they got that revenue number for Q1 and they're like, holy fuck, a 27% year over year decline. This was worse than anybody expected. And I hear the people on YouTube trying to spin it as this is a fantastic quarter. I'm like, Are we looking at the same numbers?
Same income statement. Yeah.
Are we looking at the same numbers?
Yeah.
What are you fucking delusional? 27% decline. Oh, well, that's because they must have closed thousands of stores. How embarrassed are you going to be when you find out they closed 37 stores? Oh, well,
And they still got that 20% loss.
Everyone knows that Q1 is always bad. Yes, I get it. We had a
But this
bad,
was comparing Q1 to Q1, a 20%
we had Q1,
year-over-year
we had a
loss.
bad Q1 already factored in, and it still missed horribly. Of course, it was going to be bad. That I'm not, I wasn't expecting Q1 to be better than Q4, but it was horrible compared to expectations. So they probably saw that. They burned $100 million off of the balance sheet, cash. And they were like, if this happens for 2 or 3 more quarters, we're going to start getting in trouble. The shorts will start coming after us. And maybe they don't have a plan, correct?
Yeah.
So they did the smart thing. And I think that the timing of them looking at their Q1 numbers had a lot to do with it.
Oh, I bet.
Now,
That's
I hope.
Do
I
you guys-
want to see them get some revenue somewhere. They need a new revenue stream. Like, I hope that they get it, you know?
correct. So what is the
Uh-huh.
problem? I'm going to give you a test question. What is the issue when your revenue is declining, and you are improving your SG&A,
Mm-hmm.
right? They've
Yeah.
clearly been improving that. They've been doing a lot of work. Hats off to them. But what problem do you eventually run into?
And you eventually have all your cash roll off, and then you got nothing to pay the bills, nothing to put product on the shelves. It's the problem Bed Bath & Beyond had, and it's dying days.
I'm going to give you a C+ for that answer. Mediocre.
Okay.
Do you want to give a stab at it?
I don't know.
The problem is, as I see it, and you guys can grade me on my answer too. That's fine.
Okay.
We're just having a
That's-
friendly chat.
Yeah.
The problem is, as you're closing stores and your top line revenue,
Oh yeah, you're reducing
is-
your income revenue.
your
stream.
revenue's
Yeah.
decreasing. But the problem is, you
At
still
some
have
point,
this
you're gonna-
you have this built-in cost,
Mhm.
and it becomes diminishing returns on how fast you can cut SG&A.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna slow.
when your revenue starts declining faster than you can cut SG&A, you're going to have a cash burn problem.
I didn't know that's where you're going with it, but yeah, you're right.
And that is eventually what is going to, if they don't change things, it's going to really make it a troubled business. Now, as long as they can keep cutting SG&A, how low can they cut it? How
Yeah.
low can they cut it? Are they going to cut it to zero? Absolutely not. You got buildings, you got executive salaries, you got administrative staff, you got everything that you have to pay for. At some point, you can't keep cutting. And if your revenue's still falling, you're going to get fucked. So they must turn
Yep,
around the
what
revenue.
Simi Cynic is saying there in the chat: economies of scale, fixed versus variable costs.
Yeah. I mean, my degree is in economics, so I know a little bit about these things, just a little bit. I mean, it's been 30 years, but diminishing returns and economies of scale, this will catch up to them. And these YouTubers that cover GameStop are in absolute denial about this stuff. They're applauding the SG&A. I applaud the SG&A cuts too, but I've run a business. I've been a executive in a Fortune 100 company for over 15 years. I know a little bit about budgeting, and there will become a point where they can't keep cutting cost.
Anya wants to know, what is SG&A, Tony?
Selling general and administrative, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, I'm 3 drinks in now. Anybody want to correct me?
I'm pretty sure
No.
that's accurate, at least on the G&A. I know for sure.
SG&A was not something that I used on any of my income statements.
Basically, you have COGS, which is cost of goods sold, which is like the cost of getting the product on the shelf, all that stuff, buying the product, all that stuff. SG&A is more your like administrative, your managing the operation.
Just to be clear too, I'm not a CPA. I hire CPAs. I don't try and know everything. I know,
And depending
I
on
try
the
and just
business,
I try and just know just enough, you know.
and depending on the CPA you ask and the business in question, what falls under cost of goods sold and what falls under SG&A could vary to make it more complicated and everything.
Mediocre, what do you tell your accountant? Mediocre is a business owner too, which is probably why I get along with him. What do you tell your accountant when the numbers don't come back exactly like you want them to?
You know we're live, Tony. I can't say that out loud.
All right.
I tell him he better get back in his office.
That's what Ryan Cohen tells the CPAs, apparently corrects. Go back in the office and hide some of that revenue till next quarter.
See what you got.
I don't work
You
like
gotta go
that.
look at a little
It's,
bit.
that's illegal.
I know, but it's funny to hear the fucking conspiracy bullshit these guys come up with on YouTube.
You
Guys,
gotta make
I
sure.
promise you, they're hiding income. You're going to find out about it 3 quarters from now.
I there's a book called that I love to read. It's called Financial Shenanigans. You should read it. And in there, they explain what pulling forward and hiding revenues is. It's called fraud.
Yeah. Semi cynic. I appreciate you stopping in. I know you get a lot of hate on Twitter, I see as well, but I appreciate the no nonsense information that you try and share. And I understand it's not popular.
I'm not a fan of reduced cash flow. I can tell you that.
Semi cynic also says, looks like it's slowly turning into a cash fund, but instead of distributing a dividend, it maintains a nationwide footprint of retail locations that don't really generate return on investment. Yeah. I mean, that is fine for a while, but I don't know that I assign a premium. What's the PE ratio on GameStop right now? 1,500, 1,900?
I can pull that up right now.
That is not,
setting.
There is zero chance that is going to hold.
Yeah.
Zero chance. No one's going to overpay for that type of business. It's just not reality.
PE ratio currently sets at
right,
950 and the EV to earnings is 749.
What was the PE?
A 950.
950. That sounds awfully low. Look at the forward PE.
Oh, no, I was doing trailing. I only do trailing 12 months, so I don't know what the forward
No,
PE
look
is.
at the forward. I guarantee it's about 1,900.
Oh, I bet. I just no. This is on my own personal spreadsheet, and I only do trailing 12 month. I don't look.
Someone pull up GME's forward PE ratio on your platform.
Tony,
I already closed mine down. It's Friday. I'm done working.
Tony, put up Stocked Up's comment.
I love it. My dad's a CPA, and his favorite joke was, if you ask a good CPA what 2 + 2 is,
Yeah, I just looked on
whatever you
Webull.
need it to be.
The PE ratio they give is actually lower than mine on a trailing 12 month, and their PE forward projecting forecasted PE ratio is 1,900.
Yeah, there you go. 1,900. 1,900. Guys, there is zero reality where a PE ratio for a brick and mortar business is going to hold up. There's only 2 things that's going to happen. The price is going to get obliterated, or GameStop needs to increase their earnings. And those 2 numbers will meet somewhere in the middle, somewhere reasonable. How long this game of the price being up where it's at can be played, I can't tell you. But there is zero chance that GameStop holds at a 1,900 PE.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to be right, but
Stock market discounts future cash flows, and if you're looking at a 1,900 PE ratio, the only place you have to go is down.
the best thing that GameStop has in its favor is like AMC, a fanatical base of investors that are willing to overpay for it. But the problem is we talk about this a lot, Mediocre. What happens when you're just buying and holding?
Nothing.
You become a what?
You become just a sitting duck riding around doing nothing.
Yeah, you become an observer to
Yeah.
what the people that have big money that are willing to trade it will do to the price.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at Eversource for Anya real quick. Sorry. She asked me a question.
Gus says you're a bag holder.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I like this
I'm sorry for laughing.
pronunciation.
I don't want to laugh at anybody being a bag holder, but you guys need to unplug from these dipshits and take active charge of your trading.
I prefer interpreting it with the N. You become a nag holder, like you're nagging at them, because that's what a lot of them do. These more vocal ones with YouTube channels.
Stonked Up says all Ryan has done is close stores and then take away employee benefits and failed pivot attempts. I'm not going to knock him for the failed pivot attempts. And I'm not going to knock him for closing stores or taking away benefits. I mean, he's literally doing everything he should be doing. It's like when you're in an airplane and the airplane, 3 out of the 4 engines have quit and you're going down and you're trying to lower that. Your trajectory's headed into the ground. You got to throw some shit overboard to extend your flight time. That's what Ryan's doing. As a business manager, he's doing the right things and trying new business endeavors. Who could fault him for that?
The only thing I would add to that is I think he's become a little too insulated with his little country club friends, where they don't have anyone who has an actual gaming background in there. Because like if me and Platinum Sparkles can have a backroom conversation where we're like, man, there's so many obvious things you could do here to fix the business and they haven't been done yet. I have to wonder if he's become a little too insulated.
I don't know about that, but I did reread his letter from, 3 years ago that he wrote to the board. And basically he hasn't fixed anything that he wrote on that letter 3 years ago. He tried a couple things, but he's a smart guy. I think he can figure it out. I think Ryan Cohen is a smart guy. I actually like him. And if anybody can turn it around, it's him. But man, he picked a dog. He picked a dog to try and fix.
Well, I don't think he planned on holding it as long as he did. I think he planned on doing something like Chewy, where he touches it up a little bit. Well, Chewy, he started out from scratch, but he gets it to a stable position and then he sells it off to some private equity or some other company to buy it off his hands.
Yeah. But, hey, $2 billion opens a lot of doors, correct? Would you agree?
I'd say so. Yeah, we'll see what he does with it.
I want to hear from him. I want an actual executive call in June.
That would be a good start. I think that would definitely help investor confidence if he actually put his voice to the microphone and answered some of the hard questions.
Yeah. And, other companies, guys, that have done a mixed shelf offering, like what GameStop did on May 17th, they have issued public statements that said what GameStop investors probably want to hear. We issued a mixed shelf offering for the express purpose of enabling us to look at potential mergers and acquisitions. That would be a game changer, right? If they would just say a
exploring
like
strategic
that.
alternatives.
Right, but what did they say in their shelf? They said the purpose of this shelf is for general corporate use, which may include mergers and acquisitions. But I want you to be a little more forward with it. Give us some hope, Ryan. Tell us.
For all of the foibles of AMC, I will give one thing always to Adam Aron, is that he is always in front of the mic explaining what's going on. And then the GameStop people wonder why the AMC user base is more active on social media. It's because their CEO participates in the discussion.
The unfortunate thing with the AMC community is they like to reinterpret what he said and assign I think extra meaning to it.
I think the brilliant thing was when he accidentally dropped his cell phone and an M is what was got posted Twitter or everything like that. And he the next day he said, that meant nothing. I just dropped my phone. But today I am sending a letter and it does mean something. why? As in, why are you guys fucking crazy? That was the joke.
I mean, he literally has said, he said twice, and I posted this on my Twitter. I see no evidence of synthetic shears. Have you heard anyone heard Ryan Cohen talk about naked shorts or synthetic shears?
Nah.
Anyone? Did you ever hear Roaring Kitty talk about it? Anyone? No. This was a narrative created by Lou from Wall Street and people of his time that was never part of the original lore of these plays. GameStop was a play based on an undervalued company, a company whose market cap was under its book value in 2020.
And I'll add, Tony, that when Roaring Kitty first came out with the whole GameStop stuff, it was fundamentally driven.
That's what I just said. The market cap was under the book value. Now we're like 5 times the book value, and these people are still saying it's undervalued. I call fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You are idiots. And you YouTubers know exactly who I'm talking about.
I mean, Roaring Kitty
Couldn't
made it
possibly
known why
guess.
he was in the play. He wasn't a secret what he was doing.
He said in his first couple weeks, here is why I think it's undervalued, guys. Look at this. The market cap is under the book value, and they've got all this cash, and they got the new console refreshes, and this just doesn't make sense. And I agreed with him. It didn't make sense. But
don't forget, they still had the new deal coming with Microsoft.
that is not the scenario right now. We're in the complete opposite of that. We're way over book value, and we have barely any profits. So go back to the drawing board and start your DD over. Any of you who think you're actually covering fundamentals, you are delusional on GameStop. I'm sorry. You're delusional. I'm going to repeat myself for effect. You are delusional.
I would say if you look closely at some of those tweets that Roaring Kitty sent out last week when he was still here, he kind of made that point. A couple of those GameStop short thesis tweets where the character was like, I don't see anything. That was him making fun of you playing your cognitive dissonant games about how there isn't any way someone could want to be short a company that, like Tony said, is 5 times book value, has a forward PE ratio of fucking
1,900.
yeah, getting up there, has a regular trailing 12-month PE of somewhere between 800 and 900. This is fucking ludicrous. This is ludicrous.
I'll tell you what, guys, that hot options chain is fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
The number one thing that
Crazy
GameStop has had the options chain going for it for the past couple of weeks. But mediocre, you're an options trader. And I commented to someone on my YouTube about this today, and I want to get your opinion because I see all these people, especially the YouTubers, guys, look at this options chain. You know, someone just bought millions of dollars of call options at a price higher than the current strike. The current price at a strike higher than the current price. And you know what I'm thinking to myself, mediocre? Can you guess what I'm thinking to myself?
Somebody sold those?
Yes. Why are these dipshits focusing on automatically thinking someone bought? How about you think like an actual trader, like any of us? Every single day, we're like, we should be fucking selling call options.
It's
on GameStop. Yeah. If there's any big trades going in on GameStop, it's people selling it because they're smart.
And they're selling to you.
They're selling to you because
you
you're
want to buy.
Hey, easy, you guys, easy. Jesus.
Well, it's like when people talk about like short volume where they're like, oh, there were more marked buyers than there were sellers. You know what every transaction has? A buyer and a seller, funny enough.
I think that probably, retail bought some of those call options, but the market maker probably had to soak them up because that is what their job.
Mm-hmm.
Tony,
but there's some big money person making bank selling covered calls.
Oh yeah.
You guys are wrong.
At strike prices.
Sell options.
At strike prices where they know they're going to make millions of dollars.
Strategery.
Tony, you guys are wrong. I just got to say, options only pay pennies. So just, I gotta put it out there.
If I was covering options on GameStop, I would be, and I don't, because it would be, disheartening for me to tell you what is actually going on. But the people that are, the reason that volume is happening in the call options is either because someone made a bad trade last week and they're rolling it to next week or next month. Why do I know that? Because I have traders in our own group that are doing that, first of all. Secondly, it's
I've done
people
the
selling
infamous
covered calls.
roll of disaster.
It's people selling covered calls for easy money, and someone had to fucking buy it. And God bless that person, but they're going to lose all their money.
Tony, how good is my trade for next week, you think?
I think you're going to make, if not millions, at least thousands.
That's what you need to name your next live stream, Tony. We should call it Strategery. Just have a big old picture of George Bush.
I want one of these YouTubers that are talking up the options chain to explain why someone might be selling calls.
I want one of these people who keep talking up the options chains and these fucking gamma ramps to figure out one of these fucking Greeks besides Gamma. There's 4 of them, motherfuckers, that are the big Greeks. Can you name them? I'll name one that's fucked up every one of these weekly morons. Theta. How about you look that one up?
I love Theta's my best friend. Theta is
It's my best friend too.
God, do I love Theta.
Watching all these people buy up weeklies on fucking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday like it fucking means anything to these market makers. You are costing yourself a fuck ton of money.
As I said at the beginning of this live stream, I'm getting burned a little bit on Theta because I have puts that expire late June on GameStop. And even though it's been going down substantially, the fucking Theta burn is going down just as fast. So let me out of this fucking trade. I mean, I'd be happy to break even at this point. But so I don't know. I don't know if I'll make money in this put at this point. And that's okay, because I never wager more on an options trade than I'm willing to lose. Like I'm not betting my house on an options trade. It's just a little extra fun money for me. But I knew that GameStop was going to go down. I bought it when it was up there around $70, and you could ask yourself, Tony, how could you possibly ride it from 70 down to 20 and you still are not ahead? Mediocre. There was a day we were ahead 45%, right?
It happens.
We were ahead 45%, and I talked myself out of selling.
Yep, I think I
Also,
only made
and then
like
Ivy
$10
Crush
trade in the end.
kicked back in and ripped away those gains. So I'm struggling to stay even.
That's
I knew that was possible. It's fine.
That's why
Yeah,
I've been
Theta and
happy
ID,
to.
man, they're killers. They're fucking killers, man. That's
That's
why
why
I'd rather be,
when I'm looking
rather
at
be a
do I.
seller.
That's why when I look at how I want to deal with a movement, I look at the cost to borrow compared to the IV on those puts. And if the IV is juicy, A, you can get crushed, and B, man, you're paying a fuck ton to get into that position. Maybe it'd be better to go short, or the other way around, man. The cost to borrow looks really nasty, and the IV on these puts is really kind of comparatively small. Let's go with the puts.
I was just expecting, to be honest, Corex, a bigger elevator ride down. And, the investors really came in to support it. And that's okay. I mean, I don't mind losing a little bit of money on some put options if everybody else is happy.
Ask you guys a question, especially you, Corex. Is selling puts a bearish thing or a bullish thing? Would you say?
I mean, selling puts. The way I'd look at it is you're looking for a position to get in at. I would determine it to be bullish rather than bearish.
That's how we look at it. That's how we look at it too. There will be a point when GameStop comes down to the new support where I will sell puts. I'm just going to throw out an example. I don't know I haven't drawn, it's too early to say where the new support line is, but let's say the new support is at 14. I might sell puts at 12. And because I'd be happy to own GameStop at $12. And if it stays at 14, I just get to keep that premium. But if it drops to 12, I already said I'm willing to buy it at 12. So I collect a premium and I get my shares at $12 or less.
So let me ask you a question. If I sell puts next week on GameStop, I'm bullish.
I mean, it really depends, mediocre.
I don't think the price is going to go down.
I know how you trade, and I don't think you're exactly thinking that it's going to be a bullish play. Like I don't think that you're thinking next week you're going to own GameStop by Friday.
No.
I'm thinking
don't
if I know
think I
you,
will own
mediocre,
it by
you're
Friday.
thinking of a
But
strike.
I'll try, Tony.
You're thinking of a strike that it's not going to go under, like say $18, so you can make money while people trade it between 19 and 22 or 30 or wherever it goes. But you're just fat, dumb, and happy because you got to collect your premium. You got to
Yes,
collect
sir.
your pennies. How many pennies do you think you'll collect next week? 5 grand?
Yeah.
That's a lot
Somewhere
of
along
pennies.
the lines of $5,000.
You put those in a sock, you could hurt someone with that.
We fucking laugh every day at these people. These guys are selling options for pennies. If you knew how fast pennies add up, my friends, you wouldn't be laughing.
Well, I will tell you what I usually do, what I've done with these swings these past 2 weeks, and I made out pretty good on AMC and not so much AMC this week, but GameStop this week. What I do is I wait for everyone to just attack and jump into those options, to buy all those calls, to try and gamma juice it on Monday and Tuesday. And then I wait till Wednesday, and then I get into my short position, because you have to remember theta is algorithmic. The decay is algorithmic, and so it starts off being small, and then it just poof, drops like a fucking rock. So by Thursday and Friday, your option's worth nothing, and then that's when the price starts to cave.
Anya,
Usually, this Friday that didn't happen, but there were some other factors in there too.
But if you're a seller, Corex.
Anya
doesn't
says,
happen to
please
you.
explain for dummies theta. Anya, I have a playlist for options trading on my YouTube with a theta chart and it's a 5-minute video, Anya. Go watch my videos, but I would recommend starting there, but I'll now allow Mediocre to explain it to you.
Yeah, real quick, it's basically just time decay. That's all it is. If you have a weekly option, that means it's going to expire in 5 days, okay? So at the beginning of the week, theta's kind of level and slowly, but by the end of the week, it just dumps off because you're running out of time.
That's why I want her to watch the video, because the chart is an exponential decay, Anya.
Yep.
It starts out like going down like this, and the closer you get to the expiration date.
It's why people talk about don't get options within the last month or less, because the theta decay is disgustingly brutal.
Yeah, if you're buying a weekly option, the theta decay, unless your trade was perfect on timing, you're going to lose money really quick. But that is why selling them, theta is your friend, because
I love it.
people are going to get wrecked and you're going to make a lot of money. But typically when we're buying options, if you don't want them to be a scratch off ticket, you want to make the option as long as possible, a month, 3 months, a year.
And you'll also get discounted on the price on a daily basis buying the option. So like a weekly is going to be your most expensive option on a per day basis, whereas like say a leap that's a year or longer on a per day basis is going to cost you less.
Yeah, but you have less theta decay and you have a lot longer to be correct. You're not going to make as much money if you're right. That is the downside. Mm-hmm. If you're right, you'll still make money, but it won't be as much as someone who bought a weekly. But I mean, the chances of being right on a weekly every single week,
might as well get struck by lightning.
Pretty low. I'm going to be honest. As an options trader, it's pretty low on a weekly to be right every single week. That's why
especially if you're a buyer.
Right. I'm talking about as a buyer. I'd rather be a seller on weeklies all day long.
Hey, there we go. See, I thank you, sir, for those. Holy shit! Someone knows they're Greeks. Thank you. Salute to you, sir.
Yeah, if you really want to know, just go to Google and Google that up. It'll tell you flat out.
Dr. Z, mediocre, you want to take this one? Why would anyone sell puts? Give him our basic strategy, because guys, we do this every week.
All right. So listen, if I want to set, I'll give you a perfect example. I want to get back in AMC, right? But for me, I think AMC is a little overvalued. I don't want to pay $4.50 or $5. You know, I barely want to pay $4, right? So I want to get in at $4. So I'll continue selling puts, taking in premium until I get it in. Either it goes to 4 or it don't. Eventually, I'm going to earn enough premium where I buy it at $4.50. It's the same thing.
So let's just give an example with numbers. Let's say one contract. And I'm going to make up numbers. AMC's trading at $5. You sell a put for next Friday. And again, made up numbers. Let's say you make $20 per contract. If AMC does not drop below $4, you get to keep that $20. If you did that 10 times, you get to keep $200. But if AMC drops below $4, you better make sure that's the price you were willing to buy it at. So when we are thinking over the weekend, for all of our stocks, what is the strike price we're going to sell puts next week? We're thinking two things. What is the price I don't think it will go to? Or what is the price I do think it will go to, depending on if we want to buy the stock or not buy it. Does that make sense? If you don't really want to own the stock, make sure your strike is low enough that you don't think it will get there. If you want to buy the stock, maybe ratchet it up 50 cents or $1.
Because you're agreeing to buy the stock at that price no matter what happens. If the stock falls off and goes, $1 below your strike price, you're buying at that strike price regardless what the stock is trading at.
This is the conversation we have. Like, I will say, and I said this week, I did not sell puts on AMC this week because I said I'd be willing to buy it under 350, but I looked at the 350 puts for this week and the premium was like 5 cents, 7 cents. Not really interesting to me. If it dropped to $3, I'd be pissed if I only made $7 and then I had to buy it at $350. So I said, I'm just going to wait. I'll wait a week. It's not a big deal. And we'll see what the price action does. It ended up going up. So it would have been smart for me to take the $7. Better than nothing.
Why
better than nothing. I just have all this cash sitting there, not working for me. I should have taken the $7 divided by all my cash and sold multiple puts. I should have, but I didn't.
Well, here's the fun thing I wonder about, and maybe I need to call Fidelity. So you're using these cash secured puts and it's just cash setting until it's actually, unless you get, assigned. So correct. I wonder, you get the cash sweep and the puts premium.
I haven't paid attention to if you get the cash sweep or not. That's a good question.
Because that's double dipping. I like that. Ooh.
I would think that you would. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think so too. Because that's the one thing I like about how I do my shorting strategy. I don't go out and take that cash and then buy more other stuff. I let it set in my account because then I can use the cash sweep to pay my cost to borrow.
Anya says, "Do you need to own shares to sell puts?" Anya, you do not need to own shares. You just need to have cash. So if you're selling a 350 put on AMC, you need to have $350 cash. If you want to sell 10 of them, you need to have $3,500. And if you're selling them for that week, that $3,500 will be basically parked and not available to you. It's collateral that your broker's just going to say, this money is not available for trading this week until we see where the price ends up. And on Friday, if it doesn't end up under 350, you get your money available to trade on Monday morning. If it ends up under 350, they will buy you 100 shares for every put that you sold. And that is the strategy, guys, that I used. I had my cost basis of AMC before this run up was like $2.50 from selling cash secured puts and then selling covered calls on top of it.
Nice.
It is amazing what you can do if you have a stock that's trading sideways, how you can lower your cost basis on your shares using these strategies.
So Tony, that's why this week I didn't trade any AMCs because what was I going to trade? I wasn't going to give up my cash.
I did not want to give up my cash to buy AMC for $4 because I would have been
Me either.
pissed. I would have been pissed if it dropped to 325.
So I sat on my hands. I did nothing. I waited. Nothing happened Monday. Nothing happened Tuesday. And I said, I got to do something with my money because I can't let my money sit there and not make money. You know how I am.
Yep.
I have to make something for the week. So that's when I went looking and I seen CSX, and then I started looking at GME. And I made my money, baby, like I always do.
Yeah.
We have another question here from Channy. What's up, Channy? Channy says, if you buy options, if you have calls or puts and the contract end date is the same day and you hit the strike price, do the market makers exercise them?
Your broker
Most of the time, the market makers, as I understand it, they randomly assign, but if you are in the money, if the price is under your put price or over your call price, you can generally assume that you're going to be assigned. I've never not been assigned.
With if you sell them, they said if you bought the option, generally most brokers I know, if you bought the option, it's in the money on expiry date, they will exercise it on you.
Yeah, I mean, even if the market maker was
just
the one
to
that
save you the money, because that's money that you're just basically letting go poof, and your broker's gonna be like, ah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves, you guys. Like, it drives me freaking crazy when I'm not saying that she did this or he did this or whatever, but when people confuse the lingo, right? Like, if you're selling or buying, like, you have to be specific because it means a specific thing. It's not the same, right? So if you buy a call, you're long on the stock, right? You believe that the stock is going to run up and you want to sell at the top. You know, that's when you buy a call. When you
Uh-oh.
Did mediocre freeze again?
Looks like on my end.
Sorry.
All right, we can hear you again. Go ahead.
Oh, so when you sell a call, it's not necessarily a bearish position, but you know, you're agreeing to give up your shares at a specific price when you sell a call. So there's a difference in buying and selling that I think people get confused on, and I think they should really get that knocked down.
Yeah. Again, if you're new to options trading, and I'm not trying to convince anybody to trade options, because if you don't know what you're doing, let me be clear, you will lose money.
Absolutely.
But if you're new, if you're just getting an interest in this, find my playlist on YouTube, watch the very basic entry-level videos I have, and comment on them saying, I want to know more. And I'll put out more. But I just don't, because it takes me a long time to make those videos and nobody's really watching them. But I mean, we have people in the Discord that are making thousands of dollars a week selling puts, selling covered calls, loving a stock, holding a stock, getting an entry on a stock. Any stock you can think of. We spend days where we're just like, what's a good stock this week to sell covered calls on? Let's find a ticker that's trading sideways we can buy cheap and that has rich premium on it. This is how Wall Street is getting rich. You guys are missing out on that by not becoming educated and putting the time in to learn. And because you've listened to people who told you that trading options is horrible. And there's a bunch of YouTubers, and you know who you are, that are costing your audiences thousands of dollars a week by telling them not to learn options.
Yeah, for sure, Frank. That's what I like to do. I have the FDRXX. Getting that cash sweep at the end of the month is delicious.
Cash sweep.
What I will say though,
correct. Someone asked, "What is a cash sweep?"
Cash sweep is at the end of the month, your broker calculates how much is in, because basically if you have cash setting in your account, your broker isn't just going to, have it set there. Obviously your broker could make money off of that and you could make money off that.
They're going to pay you interest, basically.
Correct. So they take your money, they lend it out overnight, and at the end of the month, they calculate it all up, and federal funds rate is currently like what, 5.25%, I want to say. So they'll take they'll take the like 25, 30 bips off the top and the rest. And that's what cash sweep is.
Sparky, what's up, amigo?
Annualized rate. That's not like compounded on the month. That's like on an annualized basis, you will make roughly 5%.
Filthiness says, who would have ever thought you could get your cost basis lower than the stock's ever been? It's almost like it's illegal. Right? I mean, could you imagine having a cost basis on AMC of around, I think mine was $2.53. And then it ran up. Can you imagine that? It's very possible. It's actually not even difficult.
You just have to understand your risk. That's the thing, right? If you understand what you're doing with options and all that, and you understand your risk, it is what it is,
Right? If AMC would have run down to $1.50, having a $2.50 cost basis is not a bragging right. But that's why you need to understand the stock you're investing in and what their prospects are, what their business looks like. Would you agree, Mediocre?
You broke up and went off screen for a few minutes.
Oh, I was let me close this screen out. I don't know how that got on there. I was saying that it's very easy to have a cost basis well below the lowest price that the stock ever went to.
Yes.
But you could, I mean, it would be bad. There's no bragging rights having a $2.53 cost basis if it dropped to $1.50. I'd be looking like a heel, but that's why you got to know the business you're investing in.
It's not hard to do. You and I know that, right? You just track it in a spreadsheet and you calculate how much you made in premium and you subtract that from what you invested. And when you got all your money back from when you invested, then you essentially got the stock for free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
So what I'm curious about, I want to get your guys' opinion because I'm really bullish on Kirk, and I want to see what you guys are thinking because news just came out. It's currently setting under $2 right now, but apparently one of the insiders was like, "Hey, this has been trading under market value right now for a long time. Why don't we explore selling this company because we think we can sell it for you can find someone that'll buy it for $7 a share." They had a profitable fourth quarter. They've struggled the past 2 years, but there's a possibility with earnings coming up the 6th that they might show that they've improved because they've been making that same sort of transition like GameStop's been trying to do. They're still going to keep their brick and mortar, but they're expanding their online offerings.
Doesn't Costco own them?
No, that's a different Kirkland's. This one's a furniture store.
Yes, it's like a house, like a home decor kind of place. And my argument right now is it's hovering between like $1.80 and $2, and like it's popped up in after hours on the news that a 10% insider is like, hey, find someone to buy this thing because there's a lot of missing value here. So it's up hovering just above $2. But I even would say that right now at $2, it's still attractive. If now, I understand this is completely a big if, and I said this last time, I'm still waiting. At best, I'd say that this is a 1-year play out to see if it does actually show profitability for the whole year, not just like a couple quarters. But if it does, that the last time the stock did that, it was a $7 to $10 stock.
I'm giving you my 60-second look here, Corex.
That's all I care about because I'm just putting my thesis out there. Whereas, like I'm open. I want to hear. But because that's what good DD is. You put your idea out there and you have some people.
This is what we do every day in our secret trading group. Someone will say, "Hey Tony, what do you think about this ticker?" I'm like, "Let me pull it up and look at it for 60 seconds." Now, for me to do a real DD deep dive, I need to go through and look at all of the filings and I can look at an income statement, a balance sheet, and a cash flow, but do they have dilution coming? Do they have convertibles coming?
No,
you know how it is.
Yep.
So
not that I'm aware of, and in fact, I think their share count has decreased, but I don't think it's
their share count has stayed flat.
It's flat. Okay.
Look at this. I mean, 13 million. They haven't been diluting. The problem is their revenue has been mostly declining. It looks like look at this. It looks like GameStop, a cyclical business on the decline. See the chart?
Yeah.
It's cyclical by quarter, but on a decline, like you said, much like GameStop. And net income has mostly been negative since 2019. So not a fantastic business. But the other things that I see here, the balance sheet is getting drawn down. They only have $3.8 million left, which is not fantastic. That that would be a problem. And then when we look at the working capital, it's a negative 23 million. So we got a problem here.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Got a problem on working capital. So I would expect a cash raise from this company. So when I see negative working capital, the next thing I want to do is go look at something like Dilution Tracker. Let me pull that up. This is another tool which you guys, if you're in the Discord, I pay a lot of money every month to provide you guys this information. All you got to do is drop it in the Discord and say, what does Dilution Tracker say on this ticker? And we can see. Am I logged in?
Yeah,
I'm logged in. Company has negative 2 months of cash, and they don't have any relevant dilution filings. So there's nothing on file. But the fact that they have negative 2 months of cash tells you what?
They're getting really tight, and they're going to have
So
to
if you
either
see an S1
get a
filing,
filing, or they're going to have to start cutting other things.
Right. I mean, this is not a strong business. I would just say it's a coin toss.
Tony,
And that's kind of where it's setting right now, because that's why I'm kind of hesitant. Like, I like the idea that, one of the insiders, like, you could sell this company, we could probably make some money and just be done with it. But it's also why I only have 200 shares and I'm waiting for like Q1 earnings to come out, because if Q1 earnings are good, they've made some money, they're at least stabilizing things, that'd be good. But like I don't want to make it sound like I'm like, oh my God, I'm so balls deep in this company. It's 200 shares.
Yeah.
And I might add more if Q1 earnings comes out good. But, right now it's a much better position than buying GameStop, because it's $2 compared to like what you put an extra zero behind that and you get GameStop.
What's the PE ratio forward on Kirkland's?
Let me take a look.
So Tony, you think we'll see an S1 filing on Kirkland?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, they're forecasting a negative PE ratio. In other words, they're projecting a loss on Webull is what Webull.
Well, that would imply their most recent quarter had a loss, right? Or
the most recent quarter actually had a profit.
Most recent annual had a loss.
Oh yeah.
That is actually a common mistake people make when they're looking at PE ratios. They think, oh, well, the last quarter, let me compute the PE ratio. No. PE ratio is
12 months,
trailing 12 months or forward 12 months. I heard people say that on GameStop. If you look at how much money they made in Q4, imagine the PE ratio. It don't work that way, boys.
It don't
work off of Q4. You got to look at trailing 12 months. Next 12 months. Next 12 months on GameStop is 1 penny. That's why they have a 1,900 PE ratio.
And going back to the GameStop comparison, that was another reason why I got kind of bullish on Kirkland. Was I was looking at that Q4 and where GameStop had a profit, but they didn't have an operational. They had an operational loss. Kirkland had a pretty strong, operational profit. And but like you said, it's still like I don't want to say that it's like the best shirt in the laundromat.
Yeah,
still got holes in it.
Broke Ape, what's up? I always think of Grape Ape when I see Broke Ape. Broke
So
Ape.
Tony, you know what
Broke
we
Ape.
need to do this weekend?
What do we need to do?
We need to complete the video.
Which one?
The video.
Part 2 of
The options
the,
trading.
nope. The drinking video there.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that. Like maybe tomorrow, my wife has to work tomorrow, mediocre, and I don't want to be drinking late at night. So maybe midday tomorrow, we do the shot part 2 video.
You do the shot part 2 video, you put it up on YouTube, and then you come watch Princess Amount Stupid with me in the game.
What time is that going to be?
8 o'clock
All right.
Central.
If I'm still awake, because I'm going to get
All
to,
right.
I need to get to 0.10 blood alcohol, BAC. So we'll see. No promises. Shot part 2. Yes, Anya. I want to hit Broke Ape's question. Is it always a bad thing when insiders are selling? For instance, like T-Mobile. Now, I haven't looked at T-Mobile's insider selling, but I'll give you my opinion. I'll let the other two gentlemen weigh in. If they are selling to cover taxes for awarded shares, I give them a pass. If they are selling in a run-up or even in not a run-up, if they're just selling, my general rule, and I've only made one exception ever, guess which ticker it was in? My general rule is if I see insiders selling for an unknown reason, I am dumping my position or at least, taking some off the top.
Yeah.
It is not, it's not bullish if insiders are selling, in my opinion. And there have been stocks that I owned, blue chips even, or, other, I forget, maybe Palantir, where I saw that the insiders were selling and I just dumped.
You can look at,
I dumped my position.
records. Every time there's a run up with Palantir, the insiders, all of them, management, everybody's selling.
These guys know the fundamental value of the stock. And if they are selling, you should pay attention. And I've said this before. I ignored it in AMC in 2021. I gave them a pass, I guess is the right way to say it. They deserve it. Let them make their money. That was a foolish statement. We should have paid very good attention to what they were doing. I wasn't looking at the financial statements of AMC in 2021. I didn't fucking care. I was in it for a short squeeze, but I have since what? Learned, pivoted, changed, and I'm looking at the financials and I'm looking at what is the fundamental value. And they knew, and I wasn't looking at it back then. They sold. Everyone should have sold when they sold. Period. Hard stop. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I mean, I want to say they top ticked it, but they did a pretty good job.
Look, guys, all of these companies are doing 2-year forecasts. 2-year revenue, 2-year expenses, 2-year business outlook, 2-year customer purchase outlook. They know way more than you know. And you can pretend you know. You can be excited all you fucking want.
Oh, Anya talked about my pain stock.
But when they are selling, you ought to fucking pay attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
This stock market thing is not a team sport. Get that out of your fucking head.
I've said this in my Discord many times after 2021. I will never, not even for AMC, ever make an exception ever again. If I see the exec selling, I'm going to always follow my rule book and at the very least, go double check your DD.
Anya there talking about Intel. I'm having some flashbacks, some Vietnam War memories.
All right. I want to talk about Intel, Anya, for a second, because I had a conversation with someone that works with, I don't even know if this is not really insider information. I'm just talking to a friend.
Yeah.
But I talked to a friend who, works for NVIDIA, someone that used to work with me, her and her husband both, in my corporate job way back when. As I said, I worked, some of y'all think I've never done anything productive with my life. I worked for a Fortune 100 company.
They confusing you with me.
15 years. And both of these people worked for the same company, and I've known them for many, many decades. And she moved to NVIDIA, and we were talking about NVIDIA's run up today. I was like, you must be happy. And she's like, well, are you covering NVIDIA on your YouTube channel? Because last time I talked to her 6 months ago, I was like, I really want to get into covering semiconductors. And can you hook me up with someone from investor relations? She's like, I don't know about all that, but anyways, I said, you must be happy. She's like, yeah. I was like, but did you know that on social media, they are saying that NVIDIA is being run up to cover all the short interest on GameStop? She about spit out her drink laughing, first of all.
Like I did.
But, everybody knows that is nonsense bullshit. But she said, you know what? She basically told me, I asked her, just refresh my memory, where is all of your shit made? She said, Taiwan. And her husband said, and Tony, there's no problem with that, in his full sarcasm voice. I was like, yeah, it's not like the island is surrounded by Chinese ships or anything right now. She's like, yeah, we're pretty much just counting down the days till they invade the country. I was like, wow, okay. So then what? She's like, well, Intel is making factories in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, yeah, I know that they're getting some money. She's like, Tony, follow the money.
Intel is like, right now, I'm not super bullish on it, but once they get that foundry going, which they say is probably going to be 2 more years, you're going to see a lot change. Intel has been a long blue chip.
I'm going to start covering Intel, guys. That's all I'm going to say without saying any more. That's about where our conversation went, but she basically ended the conversation saying, for all I know, in 5 years, NVIDIA could be buying their chips from Intel.
Mediocre's pinging you in the private chat. But while he's doing that, I'll just say, as someone who's more of a tech guy, like I got my PC back there that I work on occasionally and everything for a project I plan on doing later. TM. Like Intel is one of those companies that's starting to reach out. Intel's starting to challenge AMD as far as the budget graphics card market goes. Like NVIDIA's king of the hill, but Intel is quite happy if it can knock off AMD as the number 2 graphics card company. I wouldn't count them out as far as CPUs right now. AMD is on top there, but like there's been this back and forth between them and Intel where, AMD's had a long ride, then Intel has a long ride, and then AMD a back and forth. So I wouldn't count Intel out. They get this foundry out. They get
I'm thinking like, I'm a very patient investor, and I only have so many days left on this planet, Corex.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking out like 5 years, if I start covering Intel right now, I may look like a genius in 5 years.
I bet you will.
And I'm very scared about buying. And I'm going to be very honest. I mean, NVIDIA, beautiful run up. I think all the nonsense that people are saying on social media, the conspiracy stuff, is just nonsense. But everything that goes up must come down.
Yeah.
And even this lady's husband, he's a CEO also, as I mentioned. He said, Tony, because I mentioned the whole like, well, NVIDIA's customers are apparently concentrated in 4 companies. He's like, Tony, in my company, that's something we pay a lot of attention to. Like, we don't want any one customer being a majority of our income. Like any business owner would say that. That's common sense. And I don't even know enough about NVIDIA to know if that's true, but I let's just say it's what, Facebook, Amazon, who else? Who's their major 4 customers? Whatever.
Yeah.
If one
Google,
of them
Facebook,
stumbles,
yeah.
NVIDIA is going to plummet. There's zero doubt in my mind. So I'm not super hot on buying NVIDIA right now.
Another thing to keep in mind with NVIDIA is a lot of its revenue growth and everything has been tied to people upscaling AI. And even if it is the next big thing and people are buying it, you have to understand that at a certain point, people will have, scaled out, completely built out their AI infrastructure. And then where's that revenue going to go?
Yeah. At some point, it's going to come down. Everything that goes up comes down. So even if I cover NVIDIA, guys, I don't think I'm going to be covering it like you got to keep buying is $1,000. It's going to, I don't know. Every fucking day in our Discord, we always talk about the higher something goes, the more nervous we get that there's going to be a comeuppance day.
Yeah.
And so what I'm always looking for, and no one wants to watch these videos when I make them, unfortunately, but what I'm always looking for is an out of favor Fortune 500 company, like maybe an Intel.
Yeah.
Where over the next 1 to 5 years, I could buy it cheap right now and just be patient. And I'm just looking for market beating returns over the long term. That's all.
And that's what I'd say with Intel. For the next probably 2 years till they get that foundry, you're going to get your ass handed to you because they're going to have a bunch of CapEx expenditures tied to that. Like the last big dip on Intel, when you look at it on the chart, that was when they broke out the expenses for their foundry away from everything else, and people saw it for the first time, and they're like, ah! Well, yeah, they got to build it first.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have a lot of pain if you're holding Intel for these next 2 years. But when if they get this foundry going and they get customers and, say Taiwan gets invaded too, and they're the last man standing, well, Intel's going to be on top of the deck.
Does it have a weekly options chain?
Oh, you better fucking believe it does. But I'd be careful about running cash secured puts on it, because when it dips, it stumbles, but it usually recovers. Like Intel's biggest strength is over the long term, it tends to just go sideways.
Here's the monthly chart up on the screen, Mediocre, going all the way back to, I used to buy Intel back here in the early 90s when it was doing this run, even the late 90s. And then it got really boring. So I stopped paying attention to it. They kind of lost the edge to AMD. So I haven't been paying a lot of attention to Intel, but
the chart doesn't look bad though.
And I mean, compared to when I started investing in the late 80s, early 90s, it's not horrible.
It doesn't look like a slip and slide like AMC.
Right.
Chutes and ladders.
But on the monthly, it's about to hit the 200 moving average. And it's at $30, and the recent high was 63. So if you could double your money in 5 years, that's not a bad investment. But all I'm going to say is you would need to do your due diligence and understand how low could it go. It's been as low as $23 or so. Maybe I'm a little more greedy, bottom feeder. I want to wait for a lower buy-in. I don't know yet, but this is going to be maybe on my 3-day weekend list of companies to look into.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look at it.
And because I have a very long time frame for my blue chip plays, I'm very patient. My speculative plays like AMC and GameStop, those are just to make waking up every day fun. They're not the bulk of my portfolio. I'm looking for shit like this where I just want to do better than investing in an index ETF, you know? I want to know that I can beat the averages. Anya says, please look at Anon. All right. She keeps on typing this over and over. So Anya,
What is that?
On Holdings.
I have no idea what that is. I've never looked at it.
Let's just zoom out and look at the chart, Anya. It's not a bad chart. Wait. Let's look at the monthly. All right, so started trading in 2021, dropped down to $15, currently trading at 40. It's been on a push up since October of 2022. What do they do, Anya?
Athletic sports accessories.
I think I'm familiar with that brand. Yeah, it's a shoe company that's very popular in social media, right? Yeah, look at this. I've heard of this, Anya. Look, it's even got this little symbol right here that Roaring Kitty was tweeting about. I lost my screen with the restream. Hang on one second.
Intel's option chain doesn't look bad, Tony.
Intel's got a pretty solid options chain. Like,
Yeah.
you,
mean,
like I said though, the
GME,
thing you have to
but,
be
you know.
careful about is the dips, and be ready to roll out or just get assigned and deal with it.
Anya, I am familiar with this company just because I've seen people talking about it. I'm not familiar with their products, but I am going to, in short order, going to be needing some new running shoes. So maybe I'll give them a try.
Yeah, you can let us know what you think about the product. That's some of the things that I like to do as part of my DD is if there's some company that I'm interested in, like I went to Kirkland's and went into one of the stores and checked it out. It's always interesting to see the company on the ground level.
Just like Tony, he's interested in shot, you know, so he drinks a lot to test it out. Shit.
It's killing me, Mediocre, that we've been so fucking busy for the last 2 weeks that we haven't been we haven't had time to do part 2, but I needed to be on top of my game. And
well, a lot of shit happened, Tony.
A lot of shit has happened in the last 2 weeks. Alejandro, ¿qué pasa, amigo? Mike owning the float says, can you all give a stock you like over the next month?
Oh boy.
Wait for my weekend videos, Mike. Alejandro says, how high do you think AMC will get? I know everything that goes up has to come down. Alejandro, I thought AMC was going to end Friday at 350, and Mediocre can verify what I'm saying is true. Because
it was testing it there before the rally, like getting down to the bottom of the fours.
In our secret trading group. That was my prediction, but I was wildly incorrect. I
want to see what happens Tuesday, because every time it's gotten above $5, it's gotten scared and gone back into the 4 handle.
So how high do I think it will go? I already think that it is pushing up beyond where it should be based on what I know about Q2 numbers right now. We're entering this really strange period where Q2 numbers aren't going to matter because Q3 is going to be so good. And on top of that, we've got the GameStop afterglow effect pushing up AMC. But fundamentally at AMC right now, there's no reason it should be at $5, in my opinion. So I will wait a week or two. And my ideal goal would be to buy back in around $3, $3.50. But as I said on Twitter in the past week, if I need to adjust that price up because it's just not dropping there, that is a good sign, and I have no problem with that. I'm not against any company. I'm not against AMC. I'm not against GameStop. I'm for getting the absolute best entry to minimize my risk. That's all.
That's why I moved my money elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
I'm just looking for the best entry. I'm a bottom feeder. Right on you.
That's what I do. Like, I like looking at some of these companies that people toss in the dumpster. Some of those companies aren't exactly dumpster stocks, and that's what I look for, is these companies that people get a little queasy about. And I do like the talk we had with Kirk not too long ago, where we go through it and we find out all the dirty laundry about any stock, and then we find the ones that aren't as bad as people think they are.
That's why we keep moving our money around, you know? You got to keep moving it around and making money. Like, if I can't make money in AMC this week or next week or whatever, because it's not enough money what I was originally making, then I'm going to go find it somewhere else. And I'll come back to AMC when it bottoms, wherever that bottom may be.
Anya says, how do you explain all the volume in AMC in the past week? I mean, look at this volume. It is, I think this is all-time new volume, right?
Yeah.
634 million shares traded on this day. 522 million traded on this day. I'd have to go back and look in 2021 and see. I don't even know if I want to go back that far, but it is massive volume, Anya. But we had the Roaring Kitty effect.
Yeah.
For GameStop, a lot of it had to do with the options chain was getting loaded up before Roaring Kitty came. And then he was added fuel to the fire. And then AMC, I think, pushed up with it. That's what I think. I don't know if I'm right. And it's okay if you have a different opinion. You want to say, if you want to say it's all baskets, swaps, and, whatever theories you have, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't really care. I don't really care. But what I did was I sold Tuesday morning as soon as the market opened, and I made 1,150%. That's all I care about.
Tony, let me ask you this. Do you think if it was Roaring Kitty, which I think it was, do you think he tarnished his name by pumping it the whole week as it downtrended?
I think it's very odd that he came for a week, never showed up on YouTube, never said hello, cheers, and then disappeared for the entire next week. I find it very sus. And he had a 2-day effect, Meteor. He had a day and a half. He had a day and a half effect, and then it only went down from then.
Yep. What was I saying, Tony? Not for me. Not interested. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, I see every crazy theory out there. AMC is running due to the price of silver. AMC and GameStop are running because of 83 billion in swaps that are coming due. AMC and GameStop are running because of the CAT system. What else is out there? What else? I'm just going to tell you, if I thought any of those made sense, I'd be making videos on it. Everybody always DMs me and messages me, what do you think about this? If I thought something about it, I'd make a video. So for me, they're all non-issues. I don't think they're going to affect any of my trades. I don't think that any of this shit is going to affect any of my stocks. But I know people need stuff to talk about to keep them motivated, and that's fine. I'm not gonna shit on them. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. And if they're right, beautiful. We'll all make a lot of money. But I need to honor the mission of my channel, which is to keep it as fact-based as possible. If other people want to talk about that stuff, I'm not gonna beat them up. I don't care. Let them do what they want. Maybe they'll be right, and I will applaud them and send them a case of champagne.
We can all pop it together when we make money.
Yeah. Let them be right. Let them be right. I'd love it.
Every week when I make my pennies, Tony, I feel like popping champagne. Oh, shit. I love pennies, Tony. I love them.
Mediocre. What is, based on you knowing me, what is the what is the thing that I hate the most?
You got to give me a little more context than that, Tony.
Corax, if you had to guess, what do I hate the most? Knowing my personality type, Mediocre. Anya, what do I hate?
I mean, you hate pumpers. I know that.
Well, I mean, I don't hate pumpers. I mean, we need pumpers.
I think maybe this is just me projecting a bit, but liars, people who
I don't even hate liars. I mean, there's always going to be liars.
Tony, you hate everybody. You're just a miserable prick.
Me personally, what affects me personally? What in my life, in my day-to-day existence, even if you had to ask my wife, what does Tony hate the worst? Not related to stocks. He hates
people.
He
See
hates
people
being
get hurt.
No, well, I mean, I hate being wrong.
Well, that too. Yeah, that is true. Oh yeah.
If you ask my wife, I've had her on camera. How many times has Tony been wrong in the, I forget how many years I've known her, 7 or 8. She's like, well, he's been wrong a couple times. Even she'll tell you, I'm not usually wrong. Yeah, sometimes I'm wrong, of course.
Yeah, you're right. That is a true statement. You hate being fucking wrong.
If I say something, I'm generally pretty confident that I'm going to be correct. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll say it. It's not a big deal. But I fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. Sparky says you hate vet bills. I hate vet bills that exceed $10,000, Sparky. I told her that dog will fucking die before I spend $10,000 on it. Frank says you hate losing money. Losing money is just part of the game, Frank. You're going to lose some days. You're going to win some days. We all have bad trades.
Yeah.
People think that I win every trade. Absolutely not. I don't win every trade. But I'm trying to stack more winners than losers. That's it.
Yeah. Winning's part of it. Part of it, losing's part of it, and the thing you hope for is that you learn from your losses, so you lose less.
If someone tells you they win every trade, they're lying, which is why I would never say that.
You don't have to win every trade. What you got to do is know when to cut your losses, though.
Absolutely, you gotta have an exit so that you cut your losses, and then you need to have your winners exceed your losers, which requires some due diligence, not just like listening to dipshits on YouTube and
let's
Reddit.
Roll the dice.
That's the big thing that people forget is like this whole game. It's just as much about protecting the money you have. It's precious as it is about accruing wealth, because you can't make money if your bank account's constantly shrinking.
I'll tell you guys a story about a contract Tony and I were in. We were in a contract. It was me, Tony, and several others in the Discord in the same trade. And the trade was profitable. We were up 80 to 90%. And I told everybody, hey, we're up. And I'm like, man, I don't want to cut it yet. I didn't want to cut it. And so the fact of the matter is I didn't cut it, and it dropped down. I think I made $10 on the trade, because I exited before because I could tell what was going to happen with the option. Data was kicking in. We got IV crushed. It was time to exit the trade, or else it's going to go underwater. I don't know how Tony exited his, but I know none of us got the 85 or 90% gain on that one. But knowing when to cut your losses, what you got to do.
Are you talking about the GameStop puts?
Well, since you
I mean, since you brought it up,
I mean, I already talked about it twice on tonight's live stream.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. There was a day, when was it? Last week. In the last week, we were up like 45%, and you were like, Tony, I think we should sell. And I was like, I don't know, Mediocre. I think this thing's going to elevate her down.
And it didn't.
And it didn't. It fucking didn't. And so I'm still holding those. I'm still holding those GameStop puts, but I still have 3 or 4 weeks. I have till June 21st. But I'm getting IV crushed. Like as fast as GameStop has fallen, the IV is falling. I knew that was we talked about it, right? I knew that was a risk. Not every trade I make is perfect. I was up. Mediocre had the same fucking trade. We were looking at the same screen. Mediocre was like, we're up 45%, buddy. We need to exit. I was like, no, Mediocre. We can make 200%.
Oh, fuck.
He fucking exited. He fucking exited. And I fucking
left you
held.
behind.
He fucking exited. I don't know if you got out at a profit, Mediocre. I think it dropped like 5 minutes after we talked. And you're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, I sold it. I made $10. I said, fuck that.
And I'm still holding it. And like, now I'm like praying, like, if I could break even, that'd be nice. But I got 30 days. I got 30 days to be right. So I'm not super worried. But yeah, my chances of making a massive profit now have exponentially diminished. Let's just say that. And that's okay. It's okay because I don't trade options to the extent where I'm going to cry if I lose the money. I'm not YOLO. I never YOLO options.
First of all, when we buy options, I want to make this clear. When we buy option, like that was just a fucking roll of the dice.
We say that out loud. Like, hey, who wants to buy a lottery ticket?
Yeah.
What are you guys willing to invest in a lottery ticket for the week? That's how much we invest. I mean, you got to expand the number according to your financials, but I don't put more on any speculative option trade that I'm willing to lose. And every time I buy one, I know I could lose it all, and that's fine.
You're talking a couple $100 is all we really put up. There wasn't a lot. But even a couple $100, I don't want to give my money away. I knew.
Yeah, we don't. We don't. But when you can make 1,000% on it, or even 200 or 300%, right? Correct.
That's what we were shooting for.
Yeah.
When you can make that, and if you can do that a couple times a month, that's a decent trade. You're beating the market. You're beating the index. That's all that counts.
So it happens. Like, you know, I closed out of a trade on SQQ the other day. I entered SQQ quietly because I didn't want everybody following me. I entered, and I immediately sold call options against it just to lower my position a little bit. And I waited for the FOMC minutes. FOMC minutes came, and I made money on the call that I sold, but I cleared the call because I had to get rid of the stock because it was going to drop because SPY started to run up. You know, you got to know what to do in those situations, right?
Yep.
I think I lost $10 on that one.
Anya says, what is IV? Implied volatility. Mediocre. Do you want to expand on that for her?
Yeah, implied volatility.
I'll pull it up on the screen while we're talking here.
Yeah. Implied volatility is you know, the more people piling in, implied volatility goes up, right? So you could get a really high implied volatility. And if you're an option seller, implied volatility helps you, right? But as soon as implied volatility, if you're going to buy an option, you want to buy an option when implied volatility is low and sell it when it's high. Okay?
So we're looking here, mediocre, at the May 31st GameStop options, and the implied volatility at the current price is around 155%. But Anya, in the last week or two, it was at 400, 500, 600%,
600.
which
600.
means, here's how I kind of explain it. Here's like a very simple way to understand it. The market maker, all right, it is being driven up by demand, the implied volatility. But I kind of, the way I explain it to a beginner is think of the market maker is going to price the option based on IV to the point where they have no risk. Does that make sense?
Right. So as people pile in, right, in case it goes in their direction because they have to hedge that position, and that could move the stock, they raise the implied volatility up so that they don't get hurt.
You could have the absolute right idea, like I had, buying a put on GameStop at 70, 60 bucks, whatever I bought. But the implied volatility was probably 500%. So I paid like 5 times the normal price for a put. Why was it priced so high? Because everybody fucking knew that it was going to go down. That's how I want you. That's how I want you to think about it.
Right.
That's why you should look at IV. And I knew that when I bought it. So what I was counting on when I bought that put was an immediate huge drop so fast that it would overcome the IV dropping, because when the price falls, IV is going to go down and your option is going to lose value. But if the price can fall faster than the IV can bleed out, you can still make money. That's why for one day we were up 45%, but then things kind of leveled out. And I'm sitting at a point of, I don't know if I'm going to end up profitable in this trade or not. And I still got 30 days. Still got 30 days, and I don't know if I'm going to end up profitable or not. We'll see. I need a massive dump on GameStop. And if it doesn't work out, that's no big deal.
Anya, you're right. There is a lot of vocabulary, and that's why it's important for people to understand all the options and the Greeks and all that before they trade them, right? Like trading options isn't for everybody. If you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of friggin' money.
And that's why, like when stocks like Nvidia or Tesla run up, and I mean they run up massively, like pick any day that they run up to their absolute extreme max, and you think to yourself, I'm going to buy a put on this because there's no way that this high can hold. Well, guess what? If you saw it, everybody else saw it too. You're not smart. You're not smarter than the market. And I guarantee you the IV is super high. And you're going to have to overcome all of that IV. It's going to have to fall so freaking fast that nobody saw that coming.
And even more fundamentally, to the point of you see something run up and, oh, it can't go higher. I like to remind of John Maynard Keynes, one of his famous quotes: the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent.
And I do feel like the market makers have a way. In fact, I thought that was what was going on exactly with AMC and GameStop this week. They were bleeding out the options. You notice how GameStop closed at 19 bucks?
All the time.
That massive amount of options at 20 bucks didn't print.
Yeah.
Exactly. They do it a lot.
Yeah.
AMC does that shit every week. That's why they pump it up Monday, Tuesday. They bring it up to $5.
If you think you are smarter than the market, you're probably not. And I already know that. I already know I'm not smarter than the market. I'm just, when I buy a put on GameStop, I'm hoping a little bit on luck. I knew that it was going to go down, and I was right. But it didn't go down as fast as I needed it to.
And it's why I tend to be a longer term investor, because on these like short day by day trades, You know, you're competing against the all-star professional traders team who have their servers hooked up in New York directly to the exchanges with their fiber optic cables. You ain't out beating them. The only way you beat them is by time in the market, picking good stocks with good fundamentals, and just riding with the rest of the money. If you think that you're going to
mediocre, what's your favorite phrase? Be a what?
You do not have to beat them. All you have to do is be the barnacle on the fucking whale.
Be a barnacle on the fucking whale. I want you guys to ingrain that in your memory. What is retail trying to do right now, mediocre?
Oh, they're trying to fight against.
They're trying to fucking harpoon the whale.
Jesus.
Guys, you would make so much more money if you could learn to be a barnacle on the whale instead of trying to harpoon it. I'm just saying. I know that's not a popular statement.
That's right.
Anya says, Tony, Anya says, Tony, did you tell us what you absolutely hate? Anya, I hate being wrong. I hate being wrong. In the many years you've known me, Anya, I know Anya loves me because I'm right most of the time, but I mean, how many times have you known me to be incorrect? There's been a few times for sure, but if we had to grade it, what grade would you give me? Mediocre, what grade would you give me?
As far as being not wrong?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10 for not being wrong.
Should I tell you're at least 90% accurate? At least. You're pretty good. I'll put you this way. Sometimes I want you to be fucking wrong and you're not.
Everybody wants me to be wrong. Everybody wants me to be wrong. And I am wrong sometimes. I'm not perfect. Mm-hmm. And that's what people hate about me. Yeah.
I hate being wrong too. So when Tony's right and I'm wrong, it really pisses me off.
Anya says you're right 99% of the time. That's being very generous, Anya. I don't know if I'd go to 99.99%, but I mean, it is very painful and hurtful to me when I'm incorrect. But I don't think I'm perfect by any stretch. But again, the most famous thing where we were incorrect. People like to say, well, you were paid by Adam Aaron because you said to buy Ape when it came out. We were fucking wrong.
Yeah, we were.
Speaking English here very clearly, I did not anticipate the amount of people that were going to just fucking abandon this company and not support a security which was essentially the same as the base stock.
Exactly.
It sold off way beyond what made sense. But so I was wrong. I was wrong that it didn't hold its value. But what did I do? I still knew that because of arbitrage, that at some point the value would return. I didn't know what the timeline would be. So what did I do? Even though I was wrong in the initial take, what did we do, mediocre? The cheaper it got, the more we bought.
That's right.
And what happened? What happened at the AMC Ape conversion? We fixed a lot of the fucking mistakes.
Absolutely, we did.
So
we helped a lot of people.
The first thing is admitting you're wrong. The second thing is, how the fuck do we fix this mistake? Was our thesis wrong? Was our thesis wrong? No.
Absolutely not.
Was our thesis of how the market would interpret this wrong? Yeah, absolutely. But in the end, we were right.
Well, I would say that's
about you real quick. This is what I know about Tony. I'm going to tell you. This fucking guy puts the shit out on the internet because he knows he's fucking right. If he wasn't sure he was right, he wouldn't be putting the shit out there. That's what you guys don't understand.
Well, and that's what I would say is the big difference between these people. I know exactly who Tony's talking about, who put out this stuff, and what Tony did. Tony saw the facts of reality like I did. And instead of trying to change reality to fit the narrative that Tony wanted, he went and changed his position, admitted he was wrong based on the facts, and moved on with his life, whereas people are still living like it's 2021. Newsflash, it's 2024. Get with the program.
That's the thing. You got to adapt.
Do you even understand how much hell I took on Twitter today for telling people that Ryan Cohen was selling shares? This morning, can you imagine the names I was called?
I can take a pretty good guess. I usually get them thrown my way.
And do you know how many of them apologized at the end of the day today? Do you know how many of them in 3 years have ever apologized? Zero. He's still an asshole. Even though he was right, he's still an asshole.
So Tony,
look, there's the thing, Tony. You just need to do what I do. You just need to understand that in their world, you're the heel, and you should just play the heel. You should just soak it up and just. My people, they love me. They love me.
Don't you fucking guys forget that this is the fucking Clown News Network. Oh, shit, man, I'm done.
But no, seriously.
I just can't with these people. Like, all I can do is just keep on putting out the message.
Yeah.
And, one by one, as they say, Corex, brick by brick, we're building an audience of people that actually want to know the truth.
Yeah.
You like that phrase, brick by brick?
Oh, yeah. I definitely am stacking up those bricks. Just recently crossed that 1K mark. It feels good.
Beautiful.
Feels good.
I can't even get any followers.
Y'all go give Mediocre Trader a follow, please.
Yeah, maybe what you should do is you should do like you're a gamer. You should do the thing that like oh gosh, what's his name? I'm trying to think of him. You just do the live stream and it's like you're gaming, and instead of talking politics, you talk stocks while you're playing video games. I'm sure you get a really good audience from that.
I appreciate you inviting me on, Corex. I don't want you to think I was blowing you off either.
No. It was impromptu, and I didn't end up doing it anyway. It's just like whenever I do one of those, it's just like I got nothing better to do tonight. There's some of us that are playing Advance Wars. Let's just
Corex
open.
Do you have like an Xbox or something, bro?
I'm PC Master Race, bro. I play on the PC.
I know. I've seen you play on the PC, but why don't you have an Xbox or something? I've got mine set up. Mediocre's got his. Like, we're willing to play some games with you, but you're gonna need to step up the game. Maybe GameStop has a sale. Just saying.
This is the only console I need. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, unfortunately, to the death.
Candace says, I'm sorry, Tony. I don't want to yell at you or say anything nasty, but I want you to hear sorry from anybody. Thank you, Candace. That does mean a lot. And I never try and block people that disagree with me unless they're just like total assholes. I don't care if you guys disagree with me. Even all the people that cursed me out today, I didn't block a single one of them because I knew I was going to be right.
So, Tony, I disagree with you. I disagree with the fact
you disagree with me every day on just about everything, and that's fine.
Listen, you have an inside conversation with Ryan Cohen. You had to have. You got him on speed dial. How the fuck did you know?
That's what I was thinking of.
Before they released that document.
Many years of watching companies issue S3 and prospectus.
That's who I was thinking of. I just thought of it. That's what you should do, Mediocre.
Hang on one second. That is his food that he.
you should do like go look at Destiny. Find some game that you like that you can kind of just doodle in the background while you talk stocks. Like you don't have to agree with his politics, but just look at a couple of his videos and see if that's a style that I'm sure you would make it bigly in YouTube. It's all about marketing yourself as far as these channels. I found my little niche in the stock market community. It's talking about lawsuits and undervalued stocks. Tony's got his niche where he gets these tutorial videos, and I'm sure that you just need to find a niche to serve.
I just want to bring comedy to the fucking show, man.
Hey, that works too. I love it.
I wake up every day positive, and I want every day to be fun and everybody around me to have a good time. But all these fucking conspiracy nut job clowns, like with their made up bullshit, like this whole Tony DeNaro's got a secret group, and they're obviously getting paid or inside information. Guys, our group is everyone you see on the live stream every day. It's not a secret group. We don't have any secret info, and everything that we're talking about, we share with you on live streams.
Now, don't say that. Gorilla Gardner over there is calling out your inside man over there.
Here's the truth
what did he say?
Understand.
He says everyone knows Grandpa is Tony's inside guy.
Grandpa is a fucking lineman up in in Washington State.
That's how he gets your inside information. He's tapping the phone lines.
He climbs your power poles to turn your power back on. I mean, people think, I still see them posting every day that Grandpa Barney is secretly Adam Aaron. You guys are fucking nut jobs. You're fucking mouth breathers.
It's like when everyone figured out that I lived in Kansas because I was openly saying it because I didn't care, and everyone's like, "Oh, he lives in Kansas. He must work for AMC." Like, yeah, Kansas, the whole state. It's just an open air AMC executive.
How about me? Corex? I was one of 10,000 people that Adam Aaron shook hands with, and clearly I pivoted my message from the day I shook his hand. So, he must have told me something. He didn't tell me jack shit. All I did was tell him, thank you for doing a good job. That was it.
Grandpa Barney is a fucking asshole. Oh,
I wish that Grandpa Barney would bet one of these fuckers $1,000 that he's not Adam Aaron, and then we'll do a live stream together after they put that money in escrow.
The minute that bet
you
went
wanted
down,
to fucking
they'd be like
me
the
tonight.
Bed Bath and Beyond people.
These
and the money
fucking
wouldn't
mouth
show
breathers. Grandpa Barney is just like you. He's another fucking retail trader.
I was having a conversation with him about what I thought. I'm not going to talk about the thing. And he's like, I'll fucking bet you $100. I'm like, I'm not fucking betting you $100. He goes, why? You know I'm right. I said, no, I just don't want to bet you $100.
What were you going to bet him $100 on?
I don't want to say it on live.
Wait, you were betting Grandpa something?
I said that something was going to happen.
Oh,
to him.
Okay.
He said it's not.
All right. Well, I mean, we have those kind of bets in our secret group every day, right?
Yeah.
Look, we have a group of traders, of experienced traders. Like, fucking join the Discord if you want to get in on the conversation. It's not a secret, but we have discussion and we disagree every day. It's not a group. It's not a secret group where we are pushing a message or we agree on everything. It is a discussion where we learn from each other.
You guys want the truth about Grandpa Barney? I'll fucking tell you. Here's the truth about Grandpa Barney. He stopped super chatting fucking people who didn't know what they were talking about. He was done with that bullshit. That's why fucking people don't like Grandpa Barney, because he's done with that bullshit. He only wants to deal with fucking people who are going to help him make money.
So I'm going to help culture all of our live streams here, because apparently people are not cultured enough to understand hats. Now, let me explain something here to you yokel idiots. What Tony is wearing is a fedora. It has his curls up a bit, but all the way around the brim is consistent. This has a curl up in the back. It's called a fucking trilby. Learn the difference.
My hat is actually from, if you're familiar with the Godfather movies, this is the hat.
Nice.
from The Godfather, and I spent a lot of money on this hat.
I like that you spent a lot of money on that hat and it has cultural significance, and you're not some loser that keeps it up in a closet or in a case. You actually wear it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people try and talk shit about my hats, but I give two shits about those people.
Here, we want to talk shit about hats. 1 second.
Tony, what's your shirt say?
I enjoy movies. I enjoy style. I enjoy culture. And, you know,
I'll meet you out in the garden, Tony.
I thought about buying a gardening hat. And the next hat that I'm really looking at is buying, it seems a little cheesy, but buying an authentic Indiana Jones hat.
Ooh,
There
that'd be
are
nice.
cheap knockoffs. And then there is like the authentic one, which is hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get
I
a decent
bet.
one.
I got this when I
Gus?
used to do the cable line installs because it gets pretty sunny out here.
Gus Corax is wearing your fucking hat, buddy.
This is the Al Pacino hat, the exact one. So for all of you that hate movies, you can like shit on my hat all you want. I don't fucking care. My wife loves my hat, and I love it too. The amount of cares I give about what any of you say in the comments. All right. And by the way, my wife is home now from work. So we're going to wrap this up
Sounds
soon. It's 12:53. 1 o'clock seems like a good time to end it.
Yeah.
So 7 more minutes. Go ahead and say some funny comments about my hat. I got the cowboy hat over here.
Yeah.
I actually, Corex, I don't know if you know, I have a astronaut helmet. Did you know that?
You gotta wear that sometime.
Hang on.
Oh boy, here we go. Excellent. You gotta put it on though.
Based on who's been wearing astronaut helmets, I'm almost embarrassed to wear this one now, but
Okay. Once you get it on. Alrighty. Here we go. Okay, now that you got it on, you have to say, "Oh, I'm gonna have to hear about this one later."
let's fucking go! GameStop! It's up 20 cents! Oh! 20 cents! Let's
Tony,
fucking go!
To complete this, you have to put the Weeble chart on and set it to tick by tick.
23 cents, guys!
Oh man,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
this is gonna be the fucking comedy channel for sure, Tony.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna have to clip that out and open the live stream tomorrow with that.
Oh shit, man.
I love seeing people get excited over a 23-cent run up. Like, bro, act like you've been here before.
It's like when you score a touchdown in football. Act like you've been there before and scored before, not like this is the first and last time you're gonna be here.
Show me you're not an emotional trader. Nope. Fail.
Tony, what did he say? What did he say?
I don't know. What did he say?
Something about investing blindly.
I forget. What did he say?
I don't know.
Did he say I invest blindly or I don't invest blindly?
I can't recall.
All I know is he said he was willing to ride it up to 80 and all the way back to $10. Please bring it back to $10. I want to buy more. Dumbass. Cultivating a culture of losers is what I call that. Guys, and I say that in the nicest way possible because, again, if you've never tuned into this channel before. The reason I started this channel because I was so mad at Trey and Matt.
Don't end up like Mercado. Oh my God.
I was so mad at Trey and Matt for telling people to hold as it ran up to $72.
Sorry to break in, but did you hear about that one, Tony?
I just want to say something on the record here, Tony. I'm not a fucking investor. I'm a trader. I just want to make people understand that. Like, I'm not really an investor. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do like AMC, don't get me wrong.
Anybody that's telling someone to hold into a run up is a fucking dipshit. Corex, clip that shit.
Will do.
The reason I started this channel is because Trey and Matt pissed me off in June of 2021. I made a lot of money long before YouTube selling my call options into that run up. As I said earlier in this live stream, did I buy some back in after, at a stupid price, 30, 40 bucks? Yeah, I did. But it's okay. I was never going to be red in this play. I had the convenience to do that. But those dipshits telling people to keep buying, that it was going to run to $1,000, this fucking review dork telling people it was going $100,000. What the fuck, bro?
And now he's played pretend like that stuff never fucking happened.
Fucking dipshit assholes. You can blame all of them for my channel. You can call me Adam Aaron love you. No. Every play, you have watched me cover every play in the last 3 years. And what have I told you in every fucking play? Sell into the run up. What did I do when AMC ran to $12 last week? I fucking sold. All these dipshits that tell you that I'm trying to make you bag hold AMC, fuck the fuck off. You don't know fuck about dick. You don't know shit about fuck. Sell into the fucking run-ups, guys. And Corex, all your friends on the other channels that say the same thing about me, they don't know fuck about shit.
I watched one of Korak's shows the other day. It had me fucking dead, dude.
Did you watch us going over Baggy Con? Was that the one that had you laughing?
There was a guy, Mike, on your show. I don't know.
Sell into the run-ups. If you love the company, you can buy it when it comes back down. If you don't know how high it's going to go, what do? Have some brackets. Have some brackets. Have some brackets. Sell. We're never going to time the top perfectly, but I don't ever want to see you guys leaving money on the fucking table. Ever. In any play.
Make fucking money.
ABC, always be closing.
And all these people that lie about me for the last 3 years, they don't fucking watch my channel. They think just because I cover a stock, I'm pumping it. You know what I say to all of them? Fuck you. Somebody needs to cover a stock and provide some fact-based information. Do I like AMC? Do I like movies? Absolutely. Do I think it's the best investment ever? If you think that I think that, you're not watching my channel. How many times do I got to say it's a speculative play? How many times do I need to say I don't invest my entire portfolio in speculative plays? Do I think that it's undervalued and that there's potential that the market is under, they're not seeing what the potential of this company is? Yeah, of course I think that. But I'm also worried about dilution. I'm also worried about the debt restructuring. I've been so fucking transparent. And all you got to do is come on this fucking live stream and act like an adult and ask me a question, and I will be fucking honest with you. But all you fuckers who want to dox, lie, say bullshit, just be a normal person. I will always be honest with you. I will tell you exactly what I think, exactly what I feel, exactly what I think is going to happen. No holds barred, no bullshit.
Gus says cash is king, Tony.
Cash is fucking king, baby. All
Okay,
these
so-
people, all these people that call me pumpers, mediocre, don't realize that mediocre, you too, me and you are blocked by most of the pumpers. Imagine that. Imagine what these people would think if they knew all the pumpers have blocked us.
What's really funny is a lot of those pumpers are starting to unblock people.
They have
after-
some of them have unblocked me because they realize I'm right.
Well, not just that, but a lot of them are figuring out. They're like, "Oh, what's my engagement going to?" And they find out that at the engagement they were getting is from other people and interacting with them. And when you block half the internet,
I tell you, I sell. I don't give a shit. Why you call me a pumper?
Brocape says no, AMC is not the best stock in the galaxy. This fucking dipshit that covers GameStop, this fucking helmet wearing Nimrod. Tony DeMauro says AMC is the best stock. They're going to the moon. You don't even listen to my channel, you fucking.
Well, the first thing to understand
panty
about that
wearing mouth
individual
breather.
is he complains a lot about being taken out of context when he intentionally takes other people.
He
out of context.
intentionally lies to his audience because it makes him feel better about himself. It's like a small man complex. Like anyone who listens to my channel knows that is not what my channel is about. That's all I'm going to say. Never one time have I said this is the best investment ever. It's a speculative investment. It's a call option on future box office.
Tony,
And you need to be smart. You need to be smart about how you trade it.
Why do we talk about other stocks then? If AMC
Because nobody fucking wants to talk about them, mediocre. I try and put out other videos on other stocks.
No, but we do. We talk about other stocks, you and I. We do.
We talk about other stocks and we invest in other stocks. But when I put videos out about them, instead of 3,000 views, I get 300. Why don't you guys want to learn about stocks that will make you money? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Why aren't you watching my videos on value stocks?
That's where you make the real money. Is in
Why aren't y'all watching that? Go fucking watch all those videos. Every value stock play video that I've put out in the last year has returned 20, 30, 40%. Why aren't you watching that? Will you watch the next ones? I think you should. It's not as exciting. I get it. But just
think
just
about
like,
it.
But just like me, you can have 80% in safe shit that is going to outperform the market, and you can have 20% in the speculative fun stuff. And we can be here all day talking about the speculative shit because that is what wakes us up and makes every day fun. But we're not going to risk our family, our life, our 401k, our house on speculative shit. That is stupid. You don't YOLO your life on a money losing company.
Yeah, especially when you can get 5% for free from the government. If you can't beat the risk-free rate, you need to reevaluate how you're doing things. That's a nice way of putting what the other
Anya,
Tony said on my live stream.
Anya, in a nice way, what's the point of doing it if he's not getting the views? It's a waste of his time. That's the point.
I do it because mediocre, like over time, I would like to build up an audience that cares about value stocks. But like my friend that I was talking to today said, he's like, Tony, this generation doesn't care about stuff like that. He's my age, mediocre. He said, Tony, we're like the last of the generation that cares about logic and facts. I only talk to this guy like once every 6 months. I was like, man, you're speaking to my heart right now. Look at this. I bought in Hershey. Anya's asking about Hershey. I bought in at Hershey at 183. It went up to 210 in 30 days. Now it's coming back down right now to 197, but Hershey for me is not a 30, 60 day play. It's like a 2-year play. We're going to make a lot of money on Hershey over the next couple of years. But people don't want to know about boring shit where they can only make 30, 40% a year. They mistakenly want to be rich overnight, and that is not how fucking Wall Street works.
Nope.
You're being sold a bill of goods by dipshits.
I mean, it's possible to make good money, but not the
We
way
talked
these
about
people
that.
tell
We
you.
talked about that in our conversation today.
What we talk about can make you good
I
money.
told him, but there's that one guy that made $1 million. He's like, yeah, but Tony, that's one guy. And where did he get his money? From all of you. He's right. You fucking handed him your money because you bought it on the run up. You overpaid for it because you were dumb. I'm not ever going to tell you guys to buy stuff on a run up. I never have. Never have. Mediocre. How many? What do we talk about on any run up?
We want to know what's the value, like what's the company worth, like how
No, on any
overvalued
run
it-
up, we usually say what? We're not fucking buying it.
No,
If we
No,
missed it, we're not buying it.
no. If we miss it, we ain't buying it.
If
Yeah, that's for
if
sure.
we missed it, we're looking for what is the downside opportunity.
But if we're in it and it's moving, if we're looking and we're saying it's overvalued, when's it gonna roll over? When's it gonna, you know what I mean? When's the top gonna be in? That's what we're talking about. So we can exit. We're
All
looking for
these
an exit.
dumbasses telling you $80 GameStop's going to run to 1,000. Bunch of fucking dumbasses.
I made 30. I made $30 off those dumbasses this week.
30 total or 30 times something.
Oh, 30 total. It was a 17% gain. Like I don't like the one thing that people like to make fun of is, oh, you only put like $200 in short position. It's like, yeah, that's how you manage a short position. It's a fun money account, so I don't have a lot of capital in it.
I would have
don't
never had
overexpose
the
yourself.
balls. I would have never had the balls to short it. So hats off to
Yeah.
you. I'm not a
my-
shorter. I'm not a shorter. I don't short stocks. It
I
scares me.
don't blame
it scares
you.
me to death.
Like you
Scares
said,
me.
it's risky. That's why I keep
I've
my-
watched people like the laptop trader. Do you know that guy?
No.
I've watched him lose like hundreds of thousands of dollars in an hour. Corex.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it.
You can
That's why I
fuck up.
keep
shorting.
That's-
I'm not
That's
about
why
that.
that's why I keep stops tight. And I have the lucky thing of where I can micromanage it because my job's flexible like that. And my other advantage is like, yeah, they laugh about how much I make, but that's the point. I don't want to overexpose myself to risk. These people that blow up their accounts, they leverage too much into it. And then when their account blows up, they cry tears. It's like, that's why it never makes up more than 1% of my portfolio or a few percent there. It's like what you talk about your speculative place thing. Like you like if you're going to do this sort of thing, you need like risk management is before you even talk about doing the research on the stocks, you know, what ones you want to get into or anything, you got to understand the risk portfolio you're taking on and manage for that appropriately. And that's why it was only a $200 play that I made 30.
What I say in my Discord is size your risk. If it's a super risky play, you should not be wagering a large amount on it.
Absolutely.
That's how I live my life. That's how I do my trading. Do I take risky bets? Yeah, sure. All the time.
There's a video on the internet.
But I'm
telling
not
you-
mortgaging my house. I'm not taking out my 401k and putting it all in a non-profitable company because I think it's going to go to $10,000. I'm not. That's dumb.
There's an extremely funny video, Tony, and I feel bad for the guy, but Uh, I forget. Actually, Blazin sent it to me. It was funny, but uh, they were trading some sort of coin. I don't know, crypto crap that I don't really get involved with, but it would peaked out and dude was in and he's watching, and in 2 seconds the thing was all the way down, done. I don't even know the name of the ticker, but I laughed.
So I stay away from crypto. That's a
Yeah.
whole level of degeneration I'd rather not partake
Crypto is like legitimized gambling.
in.
Yeah,
Pretty
no.
much.
There were a lot of people over the last week that wanted me to cover Barnes and Noble.
Oof. The last time I heard I had done anything with that stock was 2021 or 2022, and I bought puts on it, and those cashed out nicely, and I have not seen that company since. And holy
right.
shit, it's under $1.
Look, it ran up. It ran up from 17 cents to $1.35, which is a beautiful play. Hat tip to any of you that made 17 cents to $1.35. Beautiful. I hope you took the fucking money. But you know what happened, Corex? At $1.35, they were pounding my YouTube saying, Tony, why aren't you talking about Barnes and Noble? You know what I said? I said, I'm not going to talk about it because there are dipshits that want to sue and blame you for talking about a stock after it's run up far beyond what is reasonable.
Yeah.
And the float is 53 million, and they're about to increase it to 1.6 billion. 53 million. Hear what I'm saying? 53 million. The float is going to increase by June to 1.6 billion shares.
Yeah, because I mean, Barnes and Noble's been struggling for a long time.
They have convertibles and I forget what else. Rights offering, I think. Whoever is holding this stock is going to get fucking
Obliterated.
Well, I was going to say something much worse, but thank you. This morning, yes. Tonight, no. Yeah, you're going to get obliterated in Barnes and Noble. So, guys, I want you to hear what I'm saying. 53 million outstanding float. You're about to go to 1.6 billion. But Tony, they have a reverse split coming. Is that going to change the math? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going to get obliterated in this stock. And that is why it fell 26% today and 26% yesterday. The money's already been made. Get the fuck out. Not
Tony,
financial
Gus says,
advice.
I am toast night. I think that means he's shit faced.
Who?
And Gus, put his comment up there. I love it. He can't even type.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I am toast night. Good night, Gus. We love you. Gus is our favorite. What does he drink? Does he drink PGA?
He drinks.
You know what PGA is?
No, what's that?
Pure grain alcohol.
Oh, yeah, that is what he drinks. Yes, yes.
Gus
Absolutely.
is fucking hardcore, guys. He's part of our secret trading group, and you know what? I appreciate Gus because he's a good old boy, and he fucking drinks like a man. But you know what? He has a very good sensibility about him about trading. Would you agree, Mediocre?
Yeah, absolutely. He's pretty good with technical analysis.
Let's see what Mark has to say. I'm addicted to lost porn as long as it's not in my account.
Yeah, well, everyone loves a little a good little bit of Schadenfreude.
I'm just gonna say, guys, like as we finish up this live stream, I'm just going to say, I'm going to look at the camera like I'm a YouTuber that covers GameStop.
Looking to buy.
And I'm not going to yell like they do. Because what do they say, Corex? Shorts, you should be scared now. I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to like talk to you like a non-emotional person. You should be able to compute a fundamental value of a stock based on what, Corex?
Earnings.
Future earnings and well, I mean, maybe book
earnings,
value,
yeah,
book
for
value,
sure.
but I mean, Wall Street is basically looking at discounted future earnings, right? Discounted cash flows
Discounted
and
cash flow.
discounted cash flows and future earnings. So if anybody is covering GameStop and they can't walk you through a model of discounted future cash flows and future earnings, then you should tell them to fuck the fuck off.
And make sure that they're actually
they don't
discounting
know what they're talking about.
and make sure that they're discounting for that high interest rate, that risk-free rate up at 5.25 before they get too crazy.
I get the whole hopium, and I'm a bag holder at $300 a share, and I really need you to buy it. But, and Ryan Cohen, I love you. I get it. I get all of that. $2 billion on the balance sheet. Well, so fucking what? It adds $2 to the book value. Irrelevant. $2 to the book value is irrelevant. That's my best French. What Wall Street cares about is future earnings. What is this company going to earn? Now, if they can tell us a new story about future earnings per share, I will change my mind and I'll get on board. But I'm always going to keep it 100 with you guys. I don't like overpaying for shit. I don't like bag holding shit. And if I can get a good entry on GameStop and then ride it up because they ride the wave to success, then beautiful. I'll do it. But I'm not going to tell you to buy it at 19, 20, 25, 40, 50, 60, $80 a share. And that is a good investment. Wall Street didn't suddenly realize the value of GameStop. That was FOMO. That was a one-off. It's going to come back down. Just be patient. Be smart. Be patient. Be smart. Figure out fundamental value. Figure out how Wall Street is looking at the stock, not like some dipshit YouTuber. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody who disagrees, like Corex, Mediocre, anybody in the chat, now is your time to speak up.
I can't disagree with any of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Correct.
the fundamental value of the
No,
stock
yeah.
is what it is. You know, if you need to know what it is to protect your money, that's
Yeah.
a fact. I try to buy shit at a discount.
And not these wishy-washy cherry picking fundamentals. They create 3 different financial statements for a reason. Look at all 3 of them.
It just irritates me, Corex, when they say, don't pay attention to the falling top line revenue. Look at this SG&A.
And the
What a
book
fucking-
value and
That's
and-
like a what do you call that on the streets of New York where it's like, look over here. These guys are fucking doing I want to call it a full Monty, but I don't know if that's the right phrase. They're playing you. These tricksters are playing you.
I'm going to reclaim a word. They're shills. They're the guys hanging around the grift trying to get you to pick up other people's bags.
And I think they honestly mean well. I'm not like calling them out like they're evil. I think they mean well. They just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Do you think I'm off base there?
It really depends on who it is, because I think some of them mean well, and I think there are others that don't mean well. They do mean to exploit people. But it really depends on the person.
All I know is Grandpa Barney stopped super chatting people because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
He's going back to the Grandpa Barney show. We're trying to talk about GameStop, not AMC. Grandpa Barney don't give a shit about GameStop, does he?
He's in it right now.
He's in GameStop?
Uh-huh.
What do you know what price?
I do. I won't disclose his position though.
As we close up tonight, I want to make sure everybody knows I have right now 0 position in GameStop. I have 0 position in AMC.
Same.
I'm interested in buying either one at the right price.
I have 0 position in AMC. I do have a position in GameStop.
I have been in both.
First time.
I've been in both a lot for the last year. But at the moment, in the last week, I'm out of both. And I'm waiting just for the price to come back down to like some normal fundamental value. Would I day trade them? Would I volatility trade them? Sure. But I think we're in this period of a lot of uncertainty, a lot of volatility, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for volatility traders if you're super smart. But over the long term, unless some unexpected announcement comes from management, these things are going to retrace back down to a more fundamental value. And so for the moment, that is my plan, to just be patient and wait. And if I got to wait days, weeks, or months, that is fine. That is fine with me. I just don't want to ride something down 15, 20, 30, 40, 50%. I don't want to ride it down. I don't. That would piss me off. I hate being wrong, mediocre.
I'm with you there.
Dan Spencer says I'm shorting you guys. Dan, what the fuck are you doing awake still?
I'm gonna call up Doug, and we'll start an inverse late night stock talk ETF.
Who is Doug?
You know Dougie.
Wait, are you talking about Doug Sifu?
Yeah.
Now
we got another Doug. We gotta clarify.
Why did you have to do that?
Why'd I have to do what?
Bring up Sifu because they think you're paid by him.
Oh no.
You and Amy and Platinum.
Oh, I'm sure they think a lot of things. I'll let them think whatever they want to think.
Hey, Amy was pretty funny the other night, though. She had me fucking dead.
I didn't watch it, so mediocre. Tell me what you thought was funny.
Oh, she was asking Mike some questions he couldn't answer, but she already knew the answer.
Well, that was pretty much the whole 2.5 hours he was on. Us asking him a bunch of questions he couldn't fucking answer.
She walked him down a fucking path. He couldn't respond.
Here's what I watched, Corex.
Mm-hmm.
I tuned in at the point where Mike said, Amy, you were pushing what he said she was pushing something about mortgages.
Oh, yeah, because he was clapping at her about being in the mortgage industry and tried to accuse her of being in subprime. And she's like, no.
You were pushing subprime mortgages. Like, do you actually know anybody who's in the mortgage writing business, like what their job is? Are they pushing it, or are they just like approving what the standards are?
Yeah, pretty much. That's Like it's not like they go out there and try and get people off the street. Hey, you want to buy a house?
Right.
No, people come into the bank and they're like, I want to buy a house.
I did see a couple minutes of that, and I thought it was kind of funny, but then I was like, well, another conspiracy theorist.
Well, it was funny because the best part of that whole live stream is he would say, I've got this whole, he explained it differently, but basically this fucking bulletin board like that, webs of people with string and pins. And I was like, oh, there goes Michael looking for Pepe Sylvia again.
Yeah,
He
that was
didn't get the
funny.
joke. I said it like 4 different times. He fucking went whoosh right over his head.
Chris Love says, I'm in GameStop at $11.98. I'm good. I think that is a good price, Chris, especially with the recent cash raise. I think I would be, maybe good at buying GameStop again at the $12 range. We're just going to have to see how the next couple of weeks works out. But I think we're in a bit of a froth period. So I'm going to let the next couple of weeks sort it out and see what the company has to say in the next earnings statement. Dr. Z4 says, Tony, what are the chances that AMC's refis their debt due in 2026 before the end of June? I think that based on the live stream we did the other night, all of the experts said that AMC would be smart to wait till the end of the year. So I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Probably because the person that you had on is expecting the Fed by the end of the year to start cutting rates, which would make it a much better refi.
And speaking to a 30-year bond manager, did you watch that live stream, Corex?
I haven't, but I feel like I should.
I had a guest on that was a 30-year bond portfolio manager.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy's not a dummy. He said that if AMC can book some profitable quarters and not cash burn, things could change. How the lenders would look at doing a restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know. We don't know yet, right? So it's still a bit of an unknown. So what are the chances that they could refi their debt due in 2026 before the end of June? Basically, the expert opinion, and I'm not the expert, but the experts that I've talked to, the longer that AMC can wait towards the second half of this year, maybe even into 2025, the more favorable it might work out in their favor. So even though I thought that it might happen by the first half of this year, I'm going to say that might have been a mistake. I might have been wrong. I am willing to listen to people much smarter than me. And all of the people smarter than me are saying that if AMC waits, it would be better for them. So I'm going to go with that for right now. If they got to wait 6 months or 9 months, the smart people are saying that is the smart thing to do. Allow the company to have a chance to book better earnings, get to more potential profit, and see if the Fed cuts rates. We'll see.
And that's why I think AMC can actually fall a little bit in price.
If I'm wrong, I'm happy to say I'm wrong. And I thought they'd do it by the first half of this year, but if I'm wrong, that's cool. People smarter than me have said, Tony, you're going to be wrong. Great. I actually trust those people more than me, because what the fuck do I know? I'm no smarter than you guys. I don't know about this shit.
Me either.
So there you go. Anya says, I am smart. I love Groot. All right, guys, closing comments. We're going to wrap this up.
Good, because I'm freaking tired.
I know, me too.
Yep. Come hang out with us tomorrow, 8 o'clock
p.m.
8 o'clock.
Central Time.
Who's going to be on tomorrow, Correct?
We're going to have, for sure, me, Platinum Sparkles, and Amy. We're going to go over some lawsuits, some Mullen stuff, some AMC stuff. We're also going to go over the Ryan Cohen lawsuit in the D.C. court.
Wait,
docket
all right.
117.
Can you say that a little bit slower? Because I've had a
Sure.
few drinks.
Okay, so we're going to be going over some Mullen stuff that's been happening.
Mullen, Mullen is like diluting the fuck out of their people.
They're currently trying to fight the arbitration still, and that's
Mullen is like on the brink of bankruptcy.
Yep.
All
Then we
right.
got cleaning up some of the AMC stuff that's been going on.
What is
Mostly
the
people's-
AMC stuff that's going on?
Mostly pointing and laughing at the idea that this is going to the Supreme Court. The whole
The Rose Izzo failed the Delaware Supreme Court, and Ethan says it's going to the Supreme Court of the United
Yeah.
States. Okay.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
gonna talk
Gotcha. And what else?
about that. And then last for the big three main ones for sure is we're also going to go over the Ryan Cohen lawsuit in the DC District Court, docket ID 117, where he is opposing the motion for class certification.
All right. That one I know zero about. I'm just going to be upfront.
Yeah.
So-
That one's really interesting and kind of funny. It's the one where the plaintiff called retail investors in Bed Bath and Beyond mongrels in
I saw that
deposed.
screenshot.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Who called the
first thing
investors
was,
mongrels? Who
probably
was
before
that
you
that
said
called them mongrels?
That was the plaintiff in this lawsuit.
But who is the plaintiff?
I don't know. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's a Frenchie. He's from
Wow.
France. So that
You know, Corex, I try and stay away from the whole Bed Bath and Beyond thing. You and
Yeah.
I have had conversation about this. Like,
oh, I know why. It's pretty toxic out here.
it's not just that it's toxic, but like, look, Bed Bath and Beyond is bankrupt. It's canceled.
God.
It's bankrupt. It's
Mhm.
canceled. There's zero in my mind.
The shares have been canceled. They cannot be
Yeah,
uncanceled.
in my mind, there's like zero debate about that. So if these people want to keep talking about it, what's the harm? It's not
Yeah.
like they're going to sucker anybody into a
Well,
play.
I like to look at it as less combating, griftering as it was, but it gives an opportunity to be like, this is how bankruptcy law works.
They
This
get
is-
so angry, like, why do you care? And I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care because your equity shares are canceled,
So
and that's
I-
why
I-
I just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But
it's entertainment. It's the Jerry Springer show.
all right,
All right, Tony,
I get that. Mediocre. What's up?
comment real quick.
What you got?
She says, Tony Mediocre, why do you think they ran up at market close today? And I would say that the reason GameStop ran up is because dilution was completed, right?
Yeah.
What did they?
And
what
AMC
did they
kind of
get?
sympathy ran with it.
Exactly. How much did they get, Tony? $1 billion. No, go ahead.
$1 billion.
Candace, Candace, honestly, let me put your comment up on the screen here. I don't have any good reason. Honestly, I'm going to be completely blunt. There is zero good reason why AMC ran up at market close.
I think she was asking about both, but GameStop did have a reason. I guess.
GameStop had a reason because the retail investors were bullish about the company having another $1 billion, 933 million on the balance sheet. But I think that is a misguided bullishness that will be eviscerated over the next couple of weeks. AMC probably ran up with it. There's no fundamental change in AMC's numbers. So what is happening with AMC's price action right now, to me, look, you guys know I love AMC. I'm an A-list member. I go see 3 movies a week. I want to see all of y'all win. I want to see me win. I don't want to see this company go bankrupt, but I think the price is going to come back down. However, we're pushing into the Q3 excitement. So where is the support? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out over the next couple of weeks. The next couple of weeks as we, deal with this excitement from GameStop. If I got to adjust my entry price to get back into AMC, that's fine. But why did it? What did she say? Why did it run up at market close? There is a lot of jockeying going on in the options chain. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'd also add that the rally didn't start until we were after hours, and we already know. So you got the news that GameStop, it sold out its ATM offering, which ran GameStop, and AMC was kind of sympathy with that. But the big thing that you have to understand about pre-market and after hours, none of the market makers are there. Not a lot of the institutionals are trading. It's very illiquid. So a small amount of buy orders has a lot of weight in price movement.
In our secret group, we pay very little attention to after hours trading. I'm just going to tell you that.
Because of that reason right there. It's
just
bad
low
price.
volume. Low volume can run the price up, and then they will smack it as soon as the market opens.
Which will be really interesting to see come Tuesday, because we have an extra long weekend, don't we? As far as the stock market's concerned. I still have to work Monday. It'll be really boring.
In summary, what do I think is going to happen at GameStop over the next couple of weeks? I think it's going to come down. I know that's not a popular opinion. But Wall Street is looking at future earnings. They don't give a fuck. They don't give two fucks about the balance sheet. Unless GameStop can pivot that into something meaningful where they change the future earnings of this company. And GameStop is one play, but AMC is another play that kind of mirrors GameStop. When people get excited about GameStop, AMC runs up. Nothing fundamentally changed about AMC. Let me pull up.
Matter, Tony.
Let me pull up the other theater companies here real quick, because this is really what I look at. Cinemark was up 0.73% today. IMAX was up 0.2%. AMC was up 6%. I just feel like this is overdone because of the meme stock madness. No hate. No hate against meme stock traders. But you guys know, if you have been watching this channel, I'm more of a fundamental financial analysis of the stock. So I think it's going to come back down. Will I be right? Who knows? What's my percentage of being right? Anya says 99.99%.
He ain't putting his shit out on the internet unless he knows he's right.
If I say something, I'm generally, hey babe, what would you say my accuracy rate of being correct is? Yeah, come here. You don't have to get. What is my accuracy rate of being correct? From 0% to 100%. You're not on camera.
I would have over there, but
yeah, but
why did you have to get on over there?
I'm just asking you a question. How often am I right? 50%, 90%?
What do you think?
No, I'm asking you.
What are you telling these folks?
No, I want to hear your honest answer. You've known me how many years?
9.
9 years, she says. How long? How many? What's my accuracy rate of being correct? This is from a woman, guys.
95%.
95%.
It got bigger from last time.
Hey, I love you. Thank you. That is an honest woman.
The question is, can you admit when you're wrong?
The question is, can I admit when I'm wrong? Absolutely.
Oh shit! Burn, Tony.
I love to admit when I'm wrong. The problem is she thinks I'm wrong when I'm not wrong. And that's a whole nother discussion we'll save for another day. However, when it comes to stocks, 95%, you heard it from Scarlett herself. 9 years that she's known me, guys. All right. On that note, we should probably end it. Corex, you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think I got everything cleared out.
Mediocre trader, my friend.
I just want to say good night to everybody. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and come hang out with us in the Discord.
The secret trading group.
Yes.
For
Super
all
secret.
you fucking
Top
pink,
secret.
pantied, mouth breathing conspiracy motherfuckers,
I ain't got time for you.
there ain't no secret fucking trading group, you dipshits. Do you have friends? Do you have? I'm just going to ask you. Do you have friends? Do you have
If
friends?
you don't and you want to be a whiny little bitch, you can fuck your feelings.
I got friends. I got friends who don't look at stocks based on a conspiracy basis. I got friends that actually look at stocks based on logic. And that is my group. And my group is very small. And it's not paid by anybody. It's not information given to us by anybody. Mediocre, how many hours a day do we work to look up fucking information for ourselves?
A lot.
A
Because-
lot. All fucking day.
I would say 16 hours a day.
So all you fucking dipshits that want to slander and libel me, you think we aren't keeping receipts? I hope you fucking make $1 million, so I'm going to come fucking take it all. Going to come fucking take it all for your bullshit, your lies, your slander, your defamation of character. I'm just a regular retail trader like you who does not trade stocks based on emotion and conspiracy. I read financials. I read filings. I don't trade on emotion. I don't trade on conspiracy. And as my wife said, we've been right. What'd she say? 99.9999995%. I forget the number. What, babe?
What? Can you?
Anyways, she said we've been right most of the time. If you want to join in the conversation,
No.
join the channel, join the Discord. We love you. We'd love to have
But
you.
Tony, what's the reason why we're so accurate? What's the reason?
What is
Because
the reason? What?
we're so accurate in what we're talking about,
Because we don't trade on emotion or conspiracy.
and we go look up fucking information.
We read the information and we trust it. I know that sounds like, oh,
Hey, Tony,
You can't-
got lit up.
you can't trust the information, mediocre. No, guys, people go to jail. People go to jail if they publish information you can't trust. If you can't trust the information, why are you even fucking in the fucking stock market? That's what I'm going to say. Anywho, Corex, you got anything else?
No, I think I'm good for the night.
I know you hate me because I like AMC.
Nah, I don't hate people for their trades.
Hey, Corex. Can I tell you something? I don't
Sure.
think that AMC is like the best stock in the world, even though you might hear that on the GameStop channels. Tony DeNaro says GameStop. Tony DeNaro says AMC is the best investment ever.
You don't think it's the only investment?
I've
You
never.
got you only have one must buy, and it's AMC.
I've never said that. AMC is a speculative play.
At any price too, Corex. You can, if it's trading at $20, you gotta buy it.
But Corex, you know what else I've said? I will never hold GameStop from $10 to $80 and not sell it, because that's just like dumb fucking bum ass fuckery.
Yup.
Do I want this? What are we drinking?
It tastes kind of pineapple.
It tastes kind of pineapple-y. Lagunitas. Tiki Fusion. All right,
Tiki.
babe.
Say what's in it. It sounds good.
Say what's in it. She wants me to say orange, lime, grapefruit, and allspice.
I don't know what
Allspice.
It
Interesting.
sounds like it was gonna taste like a paloma.
It's like
She said, I don't know what allspice is, but it sounds good.
it's used in baking.
I
It's
know.
kinda like,
mediocre. I know what allspice is. My wife is
Like
not a
Starnese,
cook.
right? It's kind of like Star Anise.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
thing.
a very good 10% ABV. Holy fuck. Look, I've already finished a bottle of whiskey. I don't need to be fucking drinking this 10% ABV. Listen, guys. Hey, thank you one and all for hanging out with us tonight. It's a Friday. I hope you made a lot of money on GameStop this week. I hope you made a lot of money on AMC, and maybe next week there'll be some great opportunities. All I'm gonna say is unplug from these dipshits. Is that bad for me to say? Unplug from these dipshits who can't explain true fundamental value from you. Take care of your portfolio, take care of your profits. And if you love a stock, you can sell up here and buy back down here. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time. I own no AMC or GameStop right now. I'm waiting for a low price to buy back in. I will buy back into both, and I will let you know when I buy back into both. There's no secret trading group. My secret trading group is my friends, my fucking people that you hear on the live stream every fucking night when we do the live streams. We try and share as much info with you guys as we can. But the more these dipshits start this bullshit, the less inclined I am to do these live streams, because it's just not worth it to deal with these nimrods, these fucking mouth breathers. And I honestly hope one day they make $1 million, because I will sue the fucking shit out of them for defamation. And I got all of the fucking receipts. Mediocre, take us home.
All right, everybody. Let's make some fucking money next week. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Tuesday.
And, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. Join the Discord. Let's get out of here.
Booyah. Corex.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Do you love Adam Aaron?
No. Don't hate him either.
All right. Hey, what's the live stream tomorrow, Corex? What time?
It is at 8 p.m. Central Time. Princes of Mount Stupid. We're going to go over some lawsuits, some LOL suits.
LOL suits. All right. I'm going to run the intro/exit. And gentlemen, I'm just going to tell you, because it's late at night, I'm not going to hang out in the back room. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys. And for all of you that hate Corex, fuck off. Have a good night, guys.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast.